Hello, this is episode 4 of the Only Road podcast. I am here joined today with
John
and
Wild One.
It's our new guest on the show.
And Mike, of course.
Swell guy.
Two words for a name.
I think it's shortened to Wild. Sure.
Okay,
Yeah, we're gonna call you Wild.
W.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers. I'm drinking water. Yes, really enjoying H2O.
Yeah.
They say you can get high off water.
What?
I don't know if that's true.
Maybe
Well, you can get high off oxygen.
Can you?
Which is in water, yeah.
You can get
drink enough of it.
high-spirited.
High-spirited.
Yeah,
Russian water will get you fucked.
Russian water.
It's called vodka in these Western countries.
Yeah.
They're like fucking Americans giving it a stupid name. It's just water.
Yeah. Fucking vodka's, that's the number one importation.
For
Or not
Russia?
exportation, for Russian.
Yeah.
No,
makes
that
sense.
can't be.
Potatoes up there too.
Potatoes? Not
What do you think this
gas.
made over it?
Wait, not gas or oil?
Does Russia have gas in all of it?
I thought they were a huge supplier of gas to them.
Actually? I didn't
maybe
know that.
before sanctions, but
Oh.
I thought that was the
How
case.
come we haven't invaded Russia?
No, whoa, dude. All right.
It would get escalated way too quickly. It would go from zero to like no world.
Because they're not
in-
pushovers.
Yeah.
Those guys
Yeah.
are not pushovers.
Yeah.
World War III is gonna take an hour and a half if it ever happens.
Absolutely not. No, I reject that idea.
How long?
Well, you have to see like
From the moment from the first attack.
I could make an argument that World War III started after 9/11. I can make that argument that
That was the catalyst for it.
that we've been in World War III this whole
yeah.
time. And
That's gangster.
it really just hasn't been
It makes sense though.
announced.
actually.
Yeah, no, I could certainly make
Because
that
it's
argument.
certainly it's a war being fought like under the radar. Like we're not putting
Yeah.
this publicly.
No.
I mean, the Americans are with their whole like, yeah, we're going to Afghanistan.
patriotic and,
Yeah.
and
It's all fought with spies and shit.
This is a huge problem with Hillary Clinton because I'm not going to say that Donald Trump is going to be some kind of a peacemaker or anything like that. He probably might avoid an escalation of problems with Russia. Might. There's a huge might, but
You would have to let them do it.
Hillary Clinton will 100% go to war with Russia. She will do
Isn't that
whatever.
fucked up though?
Oh,
That she's just like, come on, you got to
Just like
take
that.
the path of like of peacekeeper. If you're a
Yeah.
president, that's their last resort.
I know.
Why would you think of going to war right off the bat?
Whoa.
Like,
If they beat Russia, America would be like the kingpin of the world.
what's beat? What do you
I
consider
don't want to
beat?
get into it. I know where this is going.
Like, do you consider the Afghanistan war beat? Do you think
No.
America won in that one?
No, but they didn't do full force attacks. They just nuked the fucking place or bomb the shit out of it.
Is that win?
Between Russia and America, it might be.
I don't know. I don't know.
no, I'm just saying, like, as a
Is
president, you
it
gotta.
really win if there's no Earth left?
Not
Is that
really.
a
No,
win?
no,
I
it's
think,
not.
I think everyone loses. I think.
Yeah,
President
I
of the
think
United
it's true.
States standing in the rubble.
It's true. It's true. It's true. Everyone loses. Everyone loses.
And this is a problem with these wars now. Like they did the Iraq War, the Afghanistan War, and they got nothing.
You know what I think
Their
it-
economy's destroyed.
Yeah.
America's, and every country now that's like going to be following they're in the EU. Their economy's going to be gone in a matter of probably a decade, maybe less though.
Huh.
I think Hitler's just playing off the fear of the country because she knows how like the Russians have always had a beef with the U.S. Right, so she's saying like, hey, I'm gonna finally fix this problem and end the Cold War if it's still going on. But
They were good
because some people say the Cold War is still going on.
Some
It's just
people
being
say
really
that-
privately fought.
No,
it's,
Some people say that Russia doesn't even have an issue with America, and they're
it's
just they're just
that's what
calculating-
Putin said.
They
That's
just-
what Putin actually said.
Really?
Yeah, Putin actually came out with a statement saying Hillary's just trying to fearmonger the U.S. or the U.S. voters into electing her as
this is
president
complete-
because they want a strong president.
It's complete
right?
war propaganda. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they've been
And-
setting up tensions with Iran for I don't know how many years now.
Yeah.
It's been so long. Then they
That's
want to
true.
go. They want to go into Iran. And honestly, they're just trying to get their population to accept it. I think that we're gonna go and do this. We're doing good by going in these countries and toppling these dictators.
True.
And
Absolutely true.
and then we're going to cause they destabilize an area
It does
of the
way
world,
more, and then after they realize it does more harm than it did good.
And they
you
don't
know?
learn.
They knew
They
that
don't
it was
learn.
going to do more harm
Like
than
with
it was.
Yeah,
Gaddafi and
that's
Saddam Hussein, like did that do anything for him?
No,
Like,
and,
it did
and
absolutely
Saddam
nothing,
Hussein was a bad dude. This
He
guy was
was.
a bad guy, but
He
at least he ran his country like properly.
And now it's still shit. Like Iraq is
you
still
can't-
it's worse.
You
It's
can't
worse
say
off,
that
right?
someone like that run the country properly.
Well, sure, he killed a lot of innocent
a
people.
lot of
but-
people.
Wait,
The amount of
they
people
were
that
saying,
die in that country yearly opposed to other countries is pretty crazy.
They're
Hold
still
on,
dying in
hold
that
on.
country, man.
Hold-
It's,
I know.
in greater numbers, and Christians in that country are losing their heads every day because of ISIS.
Yeah.
They weren't like life. If you were a Christian in Iraq when Saddam Hussein was in power, it probably wasn't perfect for you.
No.
But you weren't in a totally bad place. You definitely
Yeah.
weren't getting killed for it. And yes, he's a bad guy. But also he was America's
And
he
a
was
lot of
America's ally.
Well, he was the villain, man.
In the 80s,
Okay.
America hired this guy to go to war with Iran. They gave him the chemical weapons they later accused them of having.
That's the thing. When the Americans can no longer do business with you, they just fuck you over.
Yeah, they
That's
bully
what
you. They just
has to
bully you. They
And
stick
apparently,
it out.
Osama bin Laden used to be a secret agent.
Oh,
with
yeah,
the
of course.
FBI.
They said
In
that's
the
another one,
80s,
right?
they
Yeah, in the 80s.
trained him.
funded
He was
the
a freedom
Al-Qaeda.
fighter in
They
Afghanistan
trained
with the Russians.
And
Like, you're trying to
Jiu-jitsu,
fight the
fucking
Russians.
everything.
Yeah, it's like-
Taekwondo.
Yeah, and one thing with Iraq was that they were saying there's Al Qaeda in Iraq. That's why they have to go in and take out Saddam. They later found out there is no Al Qaeda in
Yeah.
Iraq because Saddam was keeping them out of Iraq.
Yeah.
Like he was keeping them right out of think about that.
If he was still around, do you think ISIS would have had no shot?
If he was still around, had America never invaded Iraq,
There's no way that couldn't have happened. I don't think it was avoidable.
really? Why?
What? About the Americans invading Iraq? It
They're-
was unavoidable, you're saying?
They're holding a nice big fruit, and they're a small kid.
They-
But
wait,
look at
hold
why
on,
it started.
hold on.
Look at why it started, okay? With 9/11 was like, you're going after Osama bin Laden, which was
America-
a big culprit. How did Saddam Hussein get fucking involved in that mix? He
So-
wasn't supporting bin Laden at all.
There is a great
They
video.
just decided to go after this fucking
There's a
guy.
great
It's
video
like,
on YouTube
what?
about Dick Cheney. This is, I think, in 1993 or 4. This was just after the first Gulf War.
Yeah.
And they asked Dick Cheney, why did you guys not go and take Baghdad? And he answers like, oh, well, we figured that if we did, then there would be a civil war amongst the Shias and Sunnis, and then a regional power like Iran would probably come in and take over, and we would really just have a huge mess, a huge quagmire. Not 10 years later, they went ahead and did that, and that's exactly what happened. Tell me that was not set up.
Yeah.
Wow, they knew all the risks, and then they weighed the benefits to the risks. What did they really benefit from?
They didn't get anything. They didn't even get the oil, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
No, they lost what 4 or 5,000 American
Yeah.
soldiers, like 40 or 50,000
That's
like
disheartening.
that have like severe injuries.
Yeah.
And now they have 20 veterans every day committing suicide.
But hey, they took out Saddam Hussein.
They got Saddam.
They got Saddam.
Sure.
Is that a win?
Is that a win?
Is that a win? You
I
consider that a
guess
win?
there's another theory that they did that because Saddam Hussein wanted to start trading the oil in euros instead of American dollars.
shit.
Because, and the same thing with
And
Gaddafi.
Gaddafi
I
was
heard.
the same thing. He was making
Yeah.
his own currency.
Yeah, that was going to be
And
gold.
the US
backed.
was like,
that would have
that's
all
that would have
shit.
destroyed America's economy completely had that
Yeah.
actually come.
People. Some say that Gaddafi was actually a great ruler. I heard he was. I really seriously from Afghanistan
I
people.
think
believe
out of
that.
all the dictators, probably Fidel Castro was probably did the most for his country.
Fidel Castro. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. One thing about Gaddafi was everyone had a home.
Yeah.
Okay, they didn't have
Yeah.
apartments. It was mandatory to have a
Yeah.
home. Like
It's
that's
free.
a living necessity.
Free.
Free electricity.
Yeah.
It's not free
That's
here.
insane.
Free water.
Free education,
Yeah.
free water. Like,
insane.
there were
Wow.
crazy tribes that America
Yeah.
gave an incentive to try and overthrow them. They had
It's
to
like
do
they
that.
just threw in some rebels and fucking
Yeah,
Someone-
pretty
just
much.
fuck shit up.
When
Yeah,
something's gonna put a cork in America's path, America removes it.
Yeah.
Best
Well,
they can.
I think
like a
now.
spoke in the wheel kind of thing.
I think now that
Like fucking shit
America
up.
has lost a lot of its what do you call it? Like a lot of its power in the Middle East. They're slowly.
But they can take
Coming-
it back whenever. They have air superiority. They've never even fully rained down on a country ever since they've had this kind
But
of
do
power.
they have? I mean, like, they're gonna-
If Russia and America were ever go at it, it would be fought in the air.
That'd be devastating to the entire planet if Russia and the U.S. ever decided
and
to go to war.
you have to see where it's going to start. If it is going to start, it's most likely going to be in Syria. Like Russia already set up a number of missile. What do they call it? Air defense missiles. Yeah. Like they set up a lot of them, and these are ones that, according to what they say and what even like Western media will say, is that like they're actually very advanced and like. It's not likely that America's planes could avoid the missiles coming from them. They have the S-400, the S-300, which is a little bit of an older model.
Right.
And I think they're even coming out with an S-500.
Wow.
So it's not like it would be like a walk in the park for America to do that. And
No,
also they would have to
send planes over.
They would have to realize that if the cost was too high to do it, that they're not going to do that. If they're going to be losing 2 or 3 planes a day,
no. But if they have intercontinental missiles, which cost less than a plane.
So does Russia. Russia just unveiled some kind of a messed up nuke that could take out the size of France or something like that. It's called the Satan II.
The Satan II?
I swear to God.
Wow.
I'm going to look this up. Listen,
yeah, go for it, because I'm actually interested. That's insane.
Satan II.
That's what.
Yeah,
and like I said
it could
Russia
be
has some
nuke,
fucking crazy scientists working for them that
put steroids in their nuke. Straight up. They fucking did. They're like, yeah, well,
they're a scary country, man. They're a scary country. They're not to be fucked with.
But America has a bunch of different yields for their nukes.
Sure, but
yeah, they have NORAD.
Okay, what would happen?
They have NORAD, which is like the big one.
What would happen if Russia's Satan II? Okay, like new Russian Satan II described with this is Israeli news. We can go with it.
We're calling this nuke the
devil. Where did they test it?
I'm assuming in like probably. Honestly, I have no clue.
Like
I would assume
it's just already fucked up.
In Ukraine, they just bomb that. You might as well.
Another messed up country.
Holy shit!
Putin, where are we throwing this?
Okay, there. I don't know. It's.
What the fuck? I don't even know why people make bombs so big.
Successfully.
Why do we have devices that can take that many human lives? Why did we invent that shit?
Because power.
Yeah, because it was.
We designed that to stop. We designed these weapons to stop each other from attacking each other.
Well, they also go to war to stop countries from attacking other countries.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of those countries are protecting a lot of countries.
With like America, when it comes to nuclear weaponry, you got to think those things are really only meant to be used as a deterrent. They're not actually meant to be used.
Of course, but you need to look at it this way: the Americans are the only ones to actually use a fucking nuke twice.
And they used it twice.
All right, who's the bad guy here?
Yeah,
right. Like if anything, all these countries should rally and be like, "Hey, man,
there's an argument for that. How many lives did they save dropping that nuke?
I don't know. Probably not as many.
If you're arguing that for the greater good, they killed a lot of innocent people.
I know
that's
they
fucked
did.
up.
That is fucked up.
You got it.
Absolutely, it's disgusting.
It's disgusting.
It's horrible.
Like how many people did they save by taking Saddam Hussein down? Probably not.
Probably that cost a lot of lives. Actually,
it did.
It's still costing lives because of
ISIS. Those veterans are still living with that fucking. The pain of their lost leg and fucking...
No, and now we even have a serious migrant problem that's coming into the EU, and it's going to be coming... It is coming here. It's
here.
And now...
In Toronto, they get 100,000 immigrants a year.
Yeah, and that's so ridiculous. We're paying for them to come here now, and just so they can live comfortably. We have homeless people.
Though.
We have homeless people living in the streets. Okay,
I think...
Like, you know what I mean?
I think you should fix... What's wrong with
ourselves first.
Society first before you bring other people in and help.
Can you, as a human who has the power to save that many lives, would you do it?
That's
would
you do it? Yes.
You have the power.
Yes,
you know what you're going to do. You know what you're going to do to your own citizens. You know what you're going to do to your economy, and you look at the risk of lives. Someone who decides to do that, in a way, I'm not saying anyone's a good guy or a bad guy, but in a way, they're willing to hold human life above value of dollar. Now, how much are you willing to cut off of your own country to save another country, though? How much are you... Like, look at the housing here. The housing here is fucking crazy. If you own a house in Toronto, small houses are $1 million.
But that's Toronto. That's like... Yeah, I mean, Ottawa is the capital of Canada.
Why?
Like,
it happens so fast.
Toronto is like where all the shit happens.
No, it happens so fast.
It's the new Hollywood.
It's going to collapse. They can't do it. The housing market can't stand it here.
No,
it's going to pop.
Toronto,
it's a bubble. It's going to... Same thing that happened in America in 2008. It's
fucking so dumb.
Yeah, and...
It's so dumb. And
You
people are
can
buying.
You can already see that city going to shit, though, man. Like, Toronto's just not the, like...
Oh, you can't look at it now. It's
Like,
gone to shit.
yeah,
So
it's just-
I was talking to someone, asking them, "Oh, do you watch The Walking Dead?" No, I don't believe in zombies. Do you believe in zombies? Hell yeah. You been in Toronto?
You believe in
Have you been in Toronto?
You know what?
There
I
are
don't know.
zombies there.
Yeah,
These fuckers will walk in front of traffic,
Oh,
not even look at both ways,
yeah.
just walk right into
They'll
a
walk
car.
into you. I get attacked. People have pissed a foot from me. It doesn't make any
I
sense.
hate driving in Toronto.
Oh,
For that
yeah.
reason, because the pedestrians do not give a fuck. They do not respect motor vehicles.
I had a job where I was in downtown Toronto every day, man.
that
driving
must have
a
been rough.
commuter.
That must have been
It's
rough.
not, you eventually get used to like the certain times you should be in certain areas and
yeah.
shit. Just so like you could stay like 2 minutes ahead of the traffic, but oh man, it's a disaster. And now they want to take down the fucking Gardiner, it's just gonna be a nightmare.
Jesus Christ. What are they going to do if they take down the
I think
guy?
they're gonna add something bigger.
They're
than
gonna
that.
probably have to add some kind of like I would imagine they would have to add some underground system or
Yeah.
something like that.
Holy shit! Yeah, you're probably right. Like,
You know the only way to eliminate fucking traffic ananywhere?
Huh.
Hover cars.
Hover
Have different
cars.
layers of fucking
Oh,
lanes and
shit.
shit.
You would see,
Yo.
you would see
Yo,
accidents.
But malfunctions would be like fucking.
Can you imagine lane changes? I'm going up. It's like,
People would be like fucking collapsing into the front
It's like
of
the Jetsons.
people's vehicles.
It'd be the Jetsons.
It's a lot more violent. Drunk drivers on a fucking hover car.
oh my god.
Smash! It looked like a
They
fucking
do barrel
ping-pong
rolls
ball.
in the air and shit.
Exactly.
But I guess if you weren't really high, you'd just, be able to swerve. And
It'd be like a
Whoa! Would be having cars fly into their fucking houses
Into
in
their
apartments.
condos.
controlled height. Like an electromagnetic field
Oh
that
my
keeps
God.
you in your containment lane, and you just can only go straight or backwards. Pretty much.
Every single fucking
It's almost like a
major
carpool
city
lane.
would be like a mini 911 like every month.
But you gotta pay. You gotta pay to use that. It's like the express, the freeway. You know, like the.
You gotta pay for that shit. I
Yeah,
think
you
you should be
gotta
able to
pay
buy
for
your
that
own car and super up and make it faster.
Oh man, when I was working at Ashley Furniture, this one guy was trying to tell me like, oh, it's gonna be illegal to modify your car now. I'm like, what the fuck are you
Illegal?
talking?
Yeah,
this
like to
guy-
soup it up, like
yeah,
a spoiler.
yeah,
Or whatever, yeah.
or you do engine modifications. I'm like, what the fuck's this guy talking about? Now,
I'd say that shit crazy.
Yeah, I realized after that this guy was a pure shit talker and everything. Like he had to have been.
Was he really old?
Yeah, this guy was like 40 or something like that.
That's not really
That's
old.
not really old. But like,
Yeah.
I was thinking like a 6-year-old saying, I'm not going to be able
Back in
to.
my day, we had cars that were already good
No,
right off the bat.
This guy was like telling me like freaking man had a Honda Civic, 1,300 horsepower.
Fuck.
1,500 horse.
1,300 horse. Like
That car did not explode.
I really
Maybe he did.
I really didn't want to call him out for being a
Yeah.
bullshit. I was just like,
1300.
must have been a pretty fast car. What'd you have done to it?
Oh, you asked him.
Yeah,
It was
this guy
an engine.
was
Turbo.
turbo.
He's like, I had a
Turbo,
turbo.
yeah,
exactly.
no, probably not. It's fine.
Like, oh, I got it in
yeah.
my garage. You want to see it? You go over, it's a fucking Corolla.
Really, like, hey, fuck.
Said he had.
That.
Well, no, I feel like a lot of those like 80s people from the 80s, they always exaggerate their vehicles. Like I had a fucking
They
Kawasaki
exaggerate
engine
everything.
that had 6,000 horsepower. Fuck with me.
I drank an entire 2-4 and then
Yeah.
another one right after.
And then built on that Kawasaki.
The stories aren't new, man.
Oh, no.
I remember some people used to always tell me like, you can drink yourself sober. Is this true?
That's true.
Yeah,
I think so.
drink
Yeah.
yourself sober.
Yeah,
I've
the
drinking
trick is, yeah,
myself
that's how you get
sober.
rid of a hangover. You drink more.
Yeah.
So,
If you get-
so
if
let
you
me get
feel,
this right.
yeah.
So you're drinking alcohol, you're fucking yourself up, you're getting drunker and drunker and drunker, like you're getting wasted, and you're so drunk, and then eventually you don't get drunk enough that you get alcohol poisoning nor just fucking pass out. That you keep drinking, you ride that border of the line far enough through the night to the morning, keep drinking, and your body has worn off the effect of alcohol regardless of how much you're putting into it.
At that point, there's only two things that can save you: hydration or more alcohol.
How much alcohol do you have to drink? How much
Well,
enough to get a
water.
buzz.
Hold
Enough
on.
to
At
get
that
a
point, it
buzz
sounds
again.
dangerous.
Hold I drank a 20. Wait, it's called 20. Yeah, 26er of tequila. Like for the most part, I left maybe like a tiny bit at the bottom of it. Like all shots, no mix, nothing.
Yeah.
All
That's
shots.
probably the best way to do
Yeah.
it, though. You don't have
Yeah.
the sugar,
That's the
nothing,
best.
none of the
That's the
bullshit.
best.
Like,
Yeah, no.
That's the best.
That's why I drink it straight.
Drank.
It's like whiskey on the
Was
rocks.
drunk. Had a few more shots. Drank myself sober. Fucking went home.
Mhm.
And
Jesus.
Says you,
wait.
says you cut to a video.
Oh,
By the way, we don't condone drinking and driving.
Yeah.
We do not condone it. Wild one lives wildly.
That was the old him. He was
I never said I drove home.
He just sat in his car. Just wait it out. I'm gonna wait it out.
No, but it gets to the point where you kind of get a second to win. And I guess it's probably from the alcohol or something. But you get like a boost of energy, and then you're actually pretty good. Now the next day, I was hungover like a motherfucker. I was like a zombie, like a mummy, like fucking.
I've been there, yeah.
Oh yeah, man. I was retarded.
Everyone has. I think everybody who starts drinking alcohol, everybody kind of goes through a phase. Some people let that phase continue.
I'm never gonna fucking drink again. And
Yeah,
back
everybody
out.
has their "I'm never gonna drink again" story, and and usually for a lot of us, it's been some ungodly amount, like 240s of Bacardi, stupid shit. It's weird. You'd be surprised how much the human body can withstand.
Yeah.
For alcohol, but then some people drink a little bit and then they instantly die on impact.
The human body can withstand pretty much anything, like not just alcohol. Just
No, yeah.
there's a lot of willpower.
It's really resilient.
Humans are the most adaptive creature on the planet.
And look at Navy SEAL training, man. Like those guys put themselves through hell purposely to see where their breaking point is, man. You know, like
a Navy SEAL is someone.
Navy
SEAL
is just a different level of human being, man. Like those guys are fucked.
That's a weird lifestyle, and it's also strange to me that they have families. Some of those guys, they're dad.
They can't talk about that shit.
And
you know, it's like these guys have killed fucking countless people, and they go back to their families and act like the dad playing with their kids and shit. It's like,
because
there's a reason. A lot of them don't.
No, but listen, there's a reason why Navy SEALs are able to do something like that. They don't get the same PTSD as the regular Marines.
It's the regular specific type of person.
No, it's not even that. It's not even that. The regular Marines are going into these countries and they're walking through the streets waiting to get attacked. When a Navy SEAL does an operation, they know where their target is. They're going at night with night vision. They're going to kill everybody. They're going to use every single tool they have. They have all the advantage. When they do it, it's substantially easier than walking through or driving through a fucking city and getting rockets shot at you and having huge firefights where you got to stay.
They do it efficiently and the best way possible.
They attack. They're the wolves.
And it's like a switch that they turn on.
No,
they can turn it on.
I'm assuming that you're referring to probably the Iraq War.
In general,
like, anytime you send like ground troops, if you didn't like execute your plan properly, you're gonna be fucked because now you're like shuffling through fucking actual civilians and
enemies,
and a lot of the enemies will like friggin' pretend that they're civilians
just so close and kill you.
Yeah,
there's a crazy quote that I heard one time. I was watching a video on YouTube where a Navy SEAL trainer was saying that SEALs are probably some of the most laziest people that you'll ever meet in your life. Only for one reason, because they try to find the easiest way, the easiest path to achieving the goal. Yeah. And that's not a bad thing, right? No. Why would you do why would you do shit the hard way when you could do it super sufficiently? And that's what they're best at. You know what I mean?
Quality.
Yeah.
Highest quality.
It's crazy.
But they're not all messed up. Like a lot of Russian soldiers, when they go through their training, they
have their own version of it. Spetsnaz.
Yeah, but those guys are a little more loop-de-loop when they're not.
Psychologically not all there.
They're always on attack.
Just Russians in general. We
love Russians. We love Russians. Keep in mind, we love Russian people. We
great hockey players.
But you guys are serious. You guys are definitely a warrior race and held to the highest regards.
Yeah.
No, and oh man, I remember I was watching. I don't even know if this was like true, but I was watching this documentary on the Spetsnaz, and then like the whole training to become one, and like one of the last tests, if it wasn't the last test, was like you have to go from like one end of the city to another end of the city dressed as a convict, and then they like put a call out like, "Yo, there's an escaped convict from this freaking prison."
Holy shit!
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do they do? Pelt you with airsoft?
No. You have to get through and not get caught.
Have to get. Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's like a manhunt game at that point.
Yeah, but like a real manhunt game. Like
they're gonna beat you down.
I'm pretty sure if you get caught, you're not saying, "Yo, man, I'm stressed." No, you're probably going to jail or something.
Or you fucking have to combat your way through these guys.
Maybe not, though. Yeah, maybe not. But, I remember watching this documentary. It was on this Russian prison. Yeah. Where it had like the worst freaking like criminals in there, the worst offenders. These are people that was
like Alcatraz for like Russia kind of thing.
Oh man, this was somewhere out in like Siberia, freaking like I don't know how many kilometers away from like civilization, but it must have been like hundreds or something like that. Like, and then freaking these were like all like people that were just like, oh yeah, like I ended up like getting drunk one night and I was at a bar and like one person started a problem with me. I ended up blacking out and like when I came to, there were 6 dead people around me.
Whoa, holy!
And these are people serving like life sentences there and shit, and it's like
it's just normal shit for them.
Oh man, like
crazy.
the certain things that I don't know if it was all the convicts or some of the convicts, but they had to like. You only had like 8 hours to sleep. You'd be in your cell for like most of the day. I think like 23 hours of the day. You couldn't lay down in daytime hours. You had to be standing.
It's like what they prohibit you. It's like, hey, get up.
Yeah, no, yeah, you can't be lying down or anything like that. Yeah, freaking, it was retarded. But the crazy thing was that these people actually, like when they would be interviewed and stuff, they would actually seem like they were reformed.
That's interesting.
And we're gonna go for a break right now because we want one. And we're back.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen.
We're back. Guess who's back?
Got Wild One here.
Wild One.
Took a little break.
Oh, yeah.
Intermission.
Did you guys didn't hear about the American student in North Korea who he was a
Somebody made it there and fucking.
Oh, he was like on a visit there.
Oh no!
Like
an exchange student.
I don't know why anyone would like go there willingly, especially if they were from America. But they accused him of stealing a propaganda poster. They said they had it on camera and shit. That's like most likely
Kim
bullshit.
Jong-un with a thumbs up.
Maybe he did though. He's probably wanted to bring it back.
Oh yeah.
How long did they sentence him to? They sentenced him to like 15 years of forced labor.
Holy shit.
Did America get him out?
No.
What?
He got sent to
years.
forced labor. 15. Oh, I gotta look this one up.
Holy shit! He probably gets.
Oh, they had him on like camera, and they like I guess they had the video in like America. This guy's like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to try."
Oh my god.
Oh.
He was like 22.
That's not funny,
He's
man.
just a
It's
kid.
hilarious.
He's like,
No, I would have felt more sympathetic, but he bitched out there.
No,
He's
man.
representing all of America.
He's
there,
one of
man.
us.
It's like, come on, you gotta man up at that point.
For a poster? Are you sure this is real?
Just flash the fucking DX.
He probably thought he was untouchable because he's
They're
American.
You know what? If you're in a country like that, you're by yourself. Like I feel this guy's pain. He's
North Korean.
he's shitting his pants.
North Korean nightmare.
Because anytime these guys could
for
fucking kill him, man. Like,
It was on CNN. Holy shit!
Oh yeah, no.
But CNN sometimes they lie.
Well, sometimes
I think
they
this
lie.
time-
They lie all the time, but they're probably not lying about this.
Good phrasing.
They're the Clinton News Network, man.
worse
They've
than Fox
become-
News.
Oh my God, they're worse than
worse.
Fox News and George
But
Bush
CNN?
era.
Really?
CNN, yeah, no, they're
Fuck,
they're
I
I
so
think we were
shitty.
talking about it. Alex Jones.
Okay,
earlier.
North Korea
He's a
sentencing of
Fox News
Otto Warmbier or whatever to 15 years hard labor for a college-style prank is outrageous and shocking and should not be permitted to stand.
What did he do? What was the prank?
He stole a propaganda poster. That's what they accused him of anyway.
So this whole thing was staged. It was a setup.
They just want to catch an American student. Like, yes, we
Yeah.
can, but we
You finally have one of them.
We will take all of our.
They said they showed a video. It's more like a silhouette going up and taking the post. It could have just as easily been one of their people.
It was
but
staged. Yeah.
could have been.
Yeah.
He might have done it. Like I mean, that's.
When did this happen?
Oh, this shit. I think this was around the time that maybe like October of
Okay.
last year.
Okay, so Kim
He's
Jong Un
only got 14 years to
was
go.
basically he got an American and he's like, I'm gonna take all my anger out on you.
So how does the U.S. respond to that? Like, hey, give it back
Oh,
kind of thing?
yeah, they couldn't really respond with
Yeah.
like anything.
Because I know the U.S. is pretty strict with that shit. It's like, you know what? They're willing to go to war if one of their own is in their country.
Oh, no, not like that. They
Like,
won't
if they're a
go- they won't
prisoner
go
of war, it's
for
like...
that. I mean, like North Korea is such a they seem like a very loose cannon anyway.
Yeah.
They're like always testing freaking
That's a
like
bomb that's
nuclear
ready to go
missiles.
off.
Fucking. It's like one they sent they sent a satellite in space and it was like all shitty and like breaking down and shit all the time. Yeah, I swear to God.
Why does that not surprise me? Just fucking duct tape and fucking twist ties and shit.
The parts
They
are all made in China.
They have,
Scientists don't know
they
anything
have like
because
a
it's what
majority of their country like fucking starving,
Yeah.
right? Starvation. This guy's like having huge buffets on TV and shit.
My country is doing just fine. He's eating a fucking
Look at all this
roast
food
beef.
that I have.
Yeah.
There's lots here.
People like resorting to cannibalism.
Oh my
Probably.
god.
Yeah, we shit on this country We shit on North Korea every episode, basically.
Yeah, North Korea is a pretty much a
Honestly,
target.
Honestly,
a target
though,
on this show.
if it were to come down to North Korea and South Korea, I almost bet North Korea would probably win.
Yeah, I think they fuck them
Yeah,
up.
because
Yeah.
they're
South Korea is more worried about like fucking their video gaming and shit, and like,
Yeah.
fucking college
fucking
football.
K-pop culture is
Oh yeah.
you know, their anime.
That's a strange place, man.
What, Korea in general?
Korea in general,
just-
man. So I don't understand the context of like life there, really, but
Yeah.
it's fucking wild. They have some people live the outer part of it, the outskirts.
Yeah.
They live like fucking weird farmers.
It's illegal to oh no, it's actually legal to smoke marijuana there.
Of
It's
course,
Where?
probably illegal.
in North Korea.
It's probably illegal.
North
to do
Korea?
anything. Oh, North Korea.
They have a lot of things that are
That's surprising.
there's a lot of
Most
things that are
communist countries are just like, you're caught with like a 5-piece, you're serving like.
Yeah, but this law was probably invented when they was like, yes, be dumb, let me control your mind.
shitload of stupid shit that is actually illegal there, but one of them that's not illegal is marijuana. It's weird, eh? It's like, I guess because it grows in abundance there.
The
There's
drug of
fields.
peace.
There's fields in
okay.
North Korea that are just fucking marijuana
Oh, I
plants
guess
everywhere.
so.
So
yeah.
people just pick that shit up and just smoke it right there on the spot. Yeah.
You wouldn't have any way of like regulating it,
Yeah.
enforcing it at all. I
Well,
guess.
sure, they would have a way to enforce it.
Well,
Can you imagine like
And
drug,
hold,
can you imagine a bunch of drug lords just get together and just
personally,
band to take over North Korea and
Oh,
just
shit.
steal all their weed?
well, that's essentially what they did in Afghanistan with
Yeah.
the opium and the weed
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Didn't get any Afghani Kush till after their fucking
Made
invasion.
a real life Scarface to just send his fucking goons there.
Yo, I believe it's either Iraq or Afghanistan was where marijuana originated from.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was.
Oh, definitely. I don't think it would have been Iraq.
Was it Afghanistan then?
Probably Afghanistan.
pretty sure
I don't
it
know
is.
if it originated.
It
there.
did.
Anything grow in Afghanistan?
No, it's
No,
it was
opium,
one of those
opium
medium-
does.
marijuana straight started
marijuana
in the
also.
Middle East.
It's alright.
Well, we were on marijuana, right? And how
Yeah.
it's legalized in North Korea. It should, that, in my opinion, along with like every other drug, should just be legal. It should just be up to the person whether they want.
Well, not
to do
every
it.
drug. I mean, there's the ones like meth and heroin.
No,
It's like,
I
think that's
I
true.
don't. I think when you make the drug illegal, you
Yeah.
make it more available.
But there's also a lot of people. They'll
No, you
practically kill
I
themselves.
would say
on
that you
shit.
do.
Do you think so? Yeah,
Well,
maybe.
well,
If they made it legal and very expensive, like what they do with marijuana, that's another way to eliminate.
Well, hold on. They had prohibition in the 20s.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah.
go in those big cities and get drunk. You could
Yeah.
get smashed.
Yeah.
Prohibition did nothing
You
except
mentioned
for
those
cause
liquor
gang
women,
wars.
that's
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, even when somebody
That's
says
true.
like meth and shit, like, you know, if it was legal, it's not like I'm gonna go down the street and like buy meth just because I'm allowed to do it now. You know.
Yeah, but then you get those
But-
people. Then you get those people who are like, "Hey, I want to try this.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
meth,"
hold on.
and then they get hooked right off
Hold
the bat.
on.
It's
Now-
like
now
you know,
that-
you don't
that
even try
is-
that shit once.
Exactly. Hold on.
Exactly. That and heroin.
Now that is an unfortunate like thing that is likely to happen. You would probably get more addicts.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, when you have to like you know, look at the news and then you see like there was like maybe some 10-year-old kid on his way to school, or like some 20-year-old walking back from a date with his girlfriend, and they get caught in the crossfire of a drive-by that they had nothing to do with. Like at that point, because of a gang war, because they're fighting for turf on who's gonna sell this group of people like their stuff. At that point, I kind of have a little bit of less sympathy.
Okay,
for the
also-
person.
okay.
Hold on. Let me finish. Let me just
Yeah,
finish.
yeah.
I'll be done in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of less sympathy for the person who actively chooses to put something harmful in their body. It's like
Yeah.
battery acid. If somebody decides to drink battery acid, I have less sympathy for the person who chooses to do a drug and get addicted to it.
Right.
Than I do for an innocent person getting caught in the crossfire
I
of a
agree.
gang war.
I agree with that. I do agree with that point. Like, I agree with it. But if an area is rampant with that type of addiction, what it does financially to the area forces those people to have to go and buy those drugs off those other people that are doing it. So if there's a lot of people buying, let's say crack, let's say that's the drug is crack.
Okay.
There's a lot of people buying crack in that area. They're buying it from convenience stores, but they're so addicted that they're spending all their money on it.
Why would convenience stores be selling crack?
Eventually, that's what it would get to, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
You think so?
you're
Because they're
regulated
gonna
to the
make profit
government.
on
they
it?
sell
and that's
booze.
like,
They
yeah,
sell.
it's
They
like-
sell booze in
In
convenience
the
stores
United
America.
States, you can buy freely. There's no
Yeah.
LCBO in the United States.
Do they
There's
sell
no beer
marijuana
stores.
in convenience
They have
stores?
dispensaries you can go to.
Yeah.
Lots of them.
Okay, and they're somewhat regulated.
But also,
Yeah.
look at the people
But
who
even
are.
if you do regulate, these people are still addicted to it.
Yeah.
Whatever price you put on it legally, you're gonna pay the money to get it. Now, if you can get it cheaper from somebody, it rots it
It
drains
would
the
definitely
financials.
fuck
Hold
up
on,
their
hold on.
It
business.
drains the
but-
financials
let
of
me-
the area that's infected,
Let me just
resulting in people attacking each other over the drug.
okay. Let me just intercede here. Now, the reason why like cocaine and things like crack ended up becoming because when they made weed illegal, now it's harder to handle a big amount of weed.
Of course,
It's gonna be in your pocket. So they started going to like things like cocaine. It's smaller, it's easier to conceal. Then eventually crack, because that's even just like a byproduct of like cocaine mixed with a few other things. So like I personally think that starting this whole war on drugs just made like more drugs available to everyone.
It did, and eventually, when the drug lords can't push those drugs anymore because they're all legal, they're going to go on to other shit. But they're going to go on electronics and shit like that, where they can make money. It's not just drugs, though. They're going to find a way to make money. They're not stupid, you know.
You have to think about the people who.
So you're going to take this away from us? Well, we're just going to go on to a different market, business.
I know that, but if you have a large quantity of people who are addicted to it, they all have jobs. Now they're doing this drug. The chance that most likely they will lose their job. Some do not, but most likely they will. They'll spend all the money on it. The money won't be going back into the company. It'll be going into the pharmaceutical companies. They already get a shit ton. But that's a big issue.
Well, that was gonna be one other thing. I personally think that like if we had a free market healthcare system where everyone paid for their healthcare like privately, I think that would also be better.
Yeah, but people can't afford that.
Well, I would make the argument that people can't afford like what they're doing now in America. People are saying that Obamacare, because like he didn't give them free health care. And this one here, it's just like, what did we do? We just gave all our money to the government and relied on them to provide us with health care.
Yeah,
and it's terrible health care.
Yeah, but it's affordable over the short term for everybody. It saves you so you pay.
I don't know.
Taxes,
it sounds good.
But if you break a bone,
if
you break a bone, you go to the hospital. Any disease you go to the hospital.
They
got your back.
But the only reason in America why
it's thousands of dollars in America.
I know. The only reason it's like that, I personally think, is because of like all these regulations they put on. It's not a free market, so you don't have like different companies like trying to like lower their prices to get more clientele to take care of them. You have these very large companies that are backed by the government, and they're going to put whatever price fits them.
It is true, yes, you're right. But what it does on the ground is what will eventually decline them. People won't even be able to pay to
People were able to afford health care in America like way before.
I know. That's true.
Like very easily. And if they couldn't afford it, they had like all kinds of like missionaries where they missions and stuff like that, and they were called.
America got pretty fucked on the inflation. We did too. We pay more taxes, but I think it helps keep the quality of Canada's life better, because not everybody's in debt thousands of dollars because of an injury and ailment that they had no power over. It's less stress for the whole society, I believe.
I personally think it would be cheaper than what we would be paying with taxes to get this kind of health care if we had a free market health care system.
Do you think it would be cheaper? How, though?
How? You would just have, like, different companies, so you could have, like, different options of going to,
So you're thinking people would fucking compete with prices for health care?
Probably.
You want to do it now.
It would happen with colleges if students weren't granted the loan from the government.
Well, they do it now, and it's really expensive.
Where?
Everywhere.
Where's everywhere in this country?
If you have, there are certain things in Canada that are not covered, and sometimes you need them.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And if you do apply for them, sometimes there is a few things they just don't cover.
Well, why isn't like going to the dentist is fairly expensive, but why isn't going to the dentist like thousands of dollars for a filling?
Money. Not a lot of people get them.
Not a lot of people get them. I'd make an argument that probably at least one person every day gets a filling.
At least one person every day, but
in Toronto.
But there's other ways to make money too, though. Like doctors, they have a line of patients constantly. I mean, so do dentists, though.
Would you put dentistry in the same category
as doctor?
Healthcare and doctor?
I think so.
I personally
because it's anatomy, right? Like it's your body. I mean, but it's not. That's the thing. Dental coverage is different. It's a separate.
It's your health.
It is.
You lose all your teeth. You're probably unhealthy.
Yeah, it is unhealthy.
It is true, and Canadians are.
But I don't understand that. I never understood that. It should be.
Yeah, no, and I'm obvious. I'm going to do a lot more research into like what privatized like healthcare, like in a free market, would actually do. But I personally think that it would be a lot better than what we have now. We do have like a pretty shitty. If you go to a hospital right now, say like you broke your arm in this moment, and you were to go to a hospital, you're probably going to be waiting a few hours at the very least. You're not going to be just like they're not going to take your.
Right. There are times I've gotten in there quick, but there are times that are like 12-hour days.
Yeah, but also where else are you going to have service faster than that? Like even though we do pay up the ass, like doctors.
America.
Do they actually see the patients faster than us?
I would imagine they do.
They do.
I think
No,
so.
because
that was one of the arguments for not
because
having
there's
for not
because
having-
there's less people coming in, right?
The population is more thicker, so in those small cities, you're gonna get more people getting more injured.
How about overseas?
Wait,
Places like
how?
Just because, however many people we have, there's so many
Let's
accidents.
not go by cities because there could be a multiple amount of hospitals in a city.
Of course.
Let's go by
area?
an area
Okay, so say one area's got like.
Trillium Hospital.
Okay.
Okay,
So
let's not dox the area we live in.
Yes. So New York. Let's take New York versus Toronto. Two big cities, right?
Right.
New York has so many people in it. That many people are gonna have serious injuries regardless of how much your healthcare costs. No matter what, it's gonna happen by chance. People will avoid it, but still, the numbers are so much greater that it's still gonna increase.
you're looking at
people
car
get injured.
accidents,
So,
traffic, stuff
technically,
like that. It's bound to happen.
that one hospital would still have more patients, and the wait would be much longer.
I would make the argument that they probably don't wait as long.
I bet you. They
I
do.
want to look it up. I want to look it up, but I actually don't think that.
Unless the only way that they could do it faster is if they had more doctors on staff.
And my argument is that anything the government does, anything the government decides, oh, we're going to take care of this, they suck at doing.
Of course, they don't have to be good at it.
Oh, they don't have
They
to.
don't have- they don't have-
They don't have
competitors.
They don't have
They
to.
don't have competitors.
That's the problem.
I know.
That's my point.
That is a good point.
If you have fair competition should always be encouraged.
Yep.
We should not like have.
Keeps our economy thriving, man.
Yeah,
It's
man.
There's still too much positivity on people being able to afford their health.
Like even in the alcohol market, there's no competition. You got the LCBO here in Canada,
Yeah, in
and
Canada.
the beer store.
That's
They
the
can make whatever
beer store.
prices they want for anything.
That's
right?
insane.
It's like
how
it
much-
is
how much
insane.
money-
We'd probably be paying half
Well,
price for everything.
at least they keep it reasonable. I know.
They do
I
keep
don't know.
it reasonable.
They
actually.
do. You don't.
Well, an alcoholic
They don't
will
like-
pay whatever.
You don't pay
taxes.
taxes,
You don't pay
which
taxes.
is a nice thing.
And it's
That's
funny
true
because
too. Yeah.
women had to fight over the taxes on tampons, and it's something they need.
Yeah.
They need it.
It's a necessity.
Alcohol, you
Hold
don't
on.
need.
Wait,
But
That
do they
happens.
really need
You need it. So
Okay, hold on.
No taxes.
Hold
That
on.
shit's still there.
Hold on.
Well,
Hold on. Guys and girls are going to be going to the liquor store. Guys
Yes.
and girls are not buying tampons.
No, but all over the population is, and they
female
have to do it. Because if they didn't,
and the guys are arguing. It's like, hey, do we really need tampons?
women would
And the women
be
are like,
walking.
"Fuck."
Dude, women would just be walking around with blood everywhere.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would. There'd be blood
Oh
everywhere.
my god, this guy thinks it's like fucking like Carrie or The Shining.
It's not. But
Fucking joking me?
not to that extent. But you just randomly see random blood.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes,
you
you
don't break. Oh, I'm gonna wear all white today. Like shit.
No, but
come
you're
on,
sitting on
bro.
the bus and it's just like fuck. Like, what are you gonna do?
Oh, there it goes.
I don't
You
know.
need to have them, and there shouldn't be a tax on it. I don't.
Okay, hold on. Should we pay a tax on toilet paper?
I don't believe we should either. You're correct.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but we
but,
do.
But you can't shove a fucking piece of paper in between your legs.
Because you're looking at things. You're looking at things at this point where it's
Maybe.
Never underestimate what a woman will do.
everything that is just revolving around hygiene. Pretty much, you're saying like we shouldn't pay a tax on like toothpaste, toothbrushes,
Yeah, they're all
toilet
necessities. If
paper.
you
We
think
need
about
this
it.
shit, right?
Yeah. I mean, God, we fucking pay for water for fuck's sakes
That's
to
the
keep
thing
us
too,
hydrated. We
yeah.
pay for bottles.
But
of water.
you're paying to make that water pure and drinkable because you can't just go in the ocean and just fucking start drinking.
No,
water.
but
that's
you could go up north. You can go to a well. And
There are
get
clean
water.
springs.
I
Yes,
would.
but-
You'd rather pay the tax than go through all that work though?
Yeah, because
Of
there's
what?
Getting fucking purified
Gonna
water.
drive 3 hours up north
some,
to get
hold
some
on. For
spring
some
water.
people, it's not that bad. I mean, I know someone who has a cottage in between Sudbury and North Bay, and it's like a 5-10 minute drive to like
Yeah.
this freaking like just this spring that has like water just coming out. Just go there, fill a bunch of
That's
bottles.
pretty cool.
Oh,
They just
Yeah,
go
and
pick
it's
it
like
up.
fresh water too.
You know what?
Everything up
People-
north, everything up north is like better. You go to the Tim Hortons and get a coffee or a tea.
It's more friendly.
It's better. No, the tea. I had
The
a tea
tea,
there,
yeah.
and the tea was properly
'Cause it's
made.
made with like spring water.
It's
You can
Yeah.
taste the
it's made with
difference.
people from up north who know how to make tea because they probably
Yeah.
make it every
They
morning.
probably grow the fucking tea
probably,
leaves in
but
the
I was like,
background.
I was
Northern people with
stunned
northern
when I
tea.
drank it. I was like, holy cow, it's actually better. I could taste the difference.
Yeah.
Here in the city, it sucks, and I attribute that. There's probably no fucking regulations really up there.
What on tea?
No, I mean on anything. You don't have fucking.
They have regulations,
Well, they do obviously,
but nobody.
Better
No,
regulations.
they don't have the type of economy in a small northern like town to produce high prices really. But in a way, I guess a lot of stuff up there is overcharged too, though.
Probably not. No,
I think it is. I
can't
remember shipping expensive up there.
I don't. I remember shit being cheaper, if anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is
It's cheaper, better quality too. I mean, I've been
Yeah.
to restaurants up north where it's like the beef
Well,
tastes
dude,
amazing.
I bought like half a pig. This was like 6 months ago. Had to have been 6 months ago. I bought half a
I
pig
remember.
for like 180, maybe 180 or 140 or 160. One of those three. I can't remember which one.
Take a gamble.
Well, let's take a gamble
Let's
anyway.
say taxes.
But
Hundreds.
I don't think there was tax. This was at a farm.
Yeah.
Oh, you went to a farm and got it.
Yeah, like a half pig. They cut up everything in front of me. This was like probably like, I don't know if it was 20 or 10 pork chops, like
God
fucking
damn,
butt
son.
chops. These are like things like they're more than 10. It had to have been more than 10. It was like probably like 20 of like each thing you could think of. Maybe a few roasts and stuff like
Now,
that.
is there bacon?
Oh yeah, there was bacon.
Okay.
Yeah,
How was the
it
bacon?
was thick cut bacon.
Well,
you had to salt it yourself.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Did you salt the fuck
You
out of
cured
it?
it and everything?
No, I didn't salt the fuck out of it. I put like a decent amount of salt.
Just
I'm not a huge fan of salt.
Of course, I agree.
I'm kind
too.
of salt
with you,
sensitive,
yeah.
more or less. Yeah, I put a lot of pepper though.
On the bacon?
Yeah.
On the bacon?
Yeah.
Well, it's generally
Yeah.
salty because of the fat, right? Like it's just like you're
Yeah.
eating the fat
Mm.
part of the pork is salty, anyways.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
The best part of a steak is the fat. I don't care what anybody ever says.
What? No, it's
Best part is the meat.
Oh man, the
It's like
best part of
meat
the
itself.
steak is the
I
fat.
mean, the fat's
Oh my
good. The
fucking
fat's
God.
great,
The flavor,
but,
the fat is the best.
No,
a real man.
I like
a
lean
real
steaks.
man.
I like
Of
lean
course, I
steaks.
love lean steaks too. I appreciate the meal. I love steak in general. But the fat is the fucking crown.
How? I cut the fat out and just leave it on
Of
the
course
plate.
you do.
A lot of people
Man.
do it. Yeah.
Oh,
But if it's done right, you could eat
Oh,
the
you're
fat.
good. Like
just melt it in
medium
your mouth.
rare,
Whatever.
medium rare, a little
try it.
more.
Next time you're eating a steak, look at the fat and just think in your head, like, be like, just think, is that the fucking best part? And just eat it and be like, motherfucker.
I
Trust
will.
me. Trust
I
me.
don't think I'll think that it's the best part though.
It's
Not
part,
that
man.
obvious, but
It's the
it's-
best part.
Think about
Maybe I
manly
should just
shit
go-
like explosions.
Maybe I should just go to like all these restaurants. Hey,
Yeah,
can
just-
I get all the parts that you don't want
Just
on
the
the
fat.
steak?
Yeah,
Go to people's
I'll take-
random
People
tables.
want the fat, though.
just give
People
me-
fat.
I'll take steak fat if you got it.
There's a lot of people.
Can you imagine it sold in bulk?
Oh,
Give me
that's
the
like-
give me
I'll
the
take
potatoes.
Okay, that's too much. You're just getting fucking a
Potatoes.
bag of deep fried fucking steak fats. You're just
Yeah.
frying them in a pan and rolls of them.
Do you like it that much?
No, that's fucking weird.
It's fucking
That's
that is
too much.
disgusting.
That's too much. That's
Shit,
weird.
man, I would like love.
Because
to
at that
I would
point,
love
you're-
to eat steak every day, but I
Yeah.
personally think I'd probably have a heart
That's
attack
at that
after,
point.
like,
I
2
think
weeks.
it's the reason you like the fat is that it's cooked with the meat, and the meat flavoring goes into the fat.
Yeah.
You know, if it's just the steak fat itself, they cut that part out,
I
and cook
tried-
it, and serve it to you. You won't like it as much, right?
No, last time I had
You
a
think
steak,
you
it was a
gotta
really good steak. It was at a restaurant. What restaurant was it called? Was it Turtle Jack's? It might have been Turtle Jack's.
Turtle Jack does an alright job.
Yeah, it was a good steak. I enjoyed it. Yeah. I can get the fries. I usually should remember now to get like double fries because fries and steak is pretty awesome.
Dude, man.
Yeah.
Steak is fucking bomb from a good restaurant that knows how to
Oh,
cook
yeah.
it. But you know what else is really interesting? A lot of restaurants I go to, I always try the ribs. I always try the ribs.
I
At
get
every
it,
restaurant. Just
too.
at least once, right? But the best one I ever had, surprising, wasn't from like a big name restaurant. The best ribs I ever actually at this fucking place. It was a golf course, some fancy golf course. We got invited for
It's a
dinner.
country club.
Yeah, country
Yeah, they're
club.
gonna have good food
The
there.
food they made there was fucking insane. Everything was
That's 5-star
perfect,
quality.
tender,
Yeah.
I
everything,
can
nothing
see that.
crisp, nothing overly cooked up. I couldn't believe it.
Mhm.
I couldn't believe it. And you could eat just as much as you wanted.
Like the other day, I was at a wedding, and I don't like squash, but I had this squash soup.
That
It's like a orange
sweet potato.
vegetable. Yes, it tastes like sweet potato.
Oh, it does taste like sweet
yeah,
potato.
and I love sweet potato, but I've
Yeah.
never been a fan of squash. Like it's
Yeah.
it's weird texture. But I had a soup. I had a soup that was fucking delicious. Probably the best soup I've had in my life.
Yeah,
It was
honestly,
squash soup.
I think
They threw in a little bit of peanut butter.
What?
Made my day. It was
Oh,
like
shit,
yeah, just
that's
peanut butter, squash, and it's just like
Wow.
yeah, like no, I guess sweet stuff with like sweet potatoes. You can get
phenomenal,
like
man.
shit like that. It'd be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Genius.
yeah. It was at a wedding at a country club, golf country club, and it was like,
Of course.
and they have the
crazy
best
shit.
food there.
Do you ever see
man.
the
I
soups
loved it.
they have? It's like, and everything is
I
presented
had
like
the soup, yeah. It was like,
Of course you did. You just had the best soup of your life,
yeah,
right?
it was great. It was the best soup of my
Was
life.
it liquidy?
No, it was like kind of like puddingish.
Mm.
So it had a very thick. It's very thick.
It was a
Oh,
thick soup.
okay.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
It was beautiful.
Interesting.
So good. I'm tasting it right
No,
now.
when they presented it to you, did it have like a little couple of other
A
vegetables
little bit
on the
of
side?
garnish on
Yeah, did
it,
it have
like a
that?
parsley. Yeah.
It did, like
Yeah.
full blown. They're like, yeah, you can have the parsley. Can you, and they're like, do you eat the parsley? Who here eats the parsley?
I eat everything.
Uh,
Yeah.
Actually, most of the time I'd say I
Yeah.
do.
You can eat the parsley too.
I don't let anything go to waste on my plate. It's weird. I was brought up
What if
to
you
eat
have?
everything
What if you
on
have?
my
What if
Yeah,
you have a
that's-
small
I feel
Probably
guilty
a
if I
European
leave.
thing,
Yeah, I feel guilty if I
guarantee
leave
that's the
anything
case. Oh,
there.
make-
you know?
They like bring out like anytime you're at like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
family
yeah,
dinner, they bring
yeah.
out like 30 plates of
They
food for like
definitely,
5
yeah.
people.
Yeah,
And they're
it's
like,
ridiculous.
no one's leaving this table
And
until
they guilt
everything's
trip you.
gone.
They guilt trip you if you don't
Oh,
eat it all. Right?
I went
You
to
give me a to-go thing. I'll take it to go. It's good food. I just can't eat anymore.
I'm about to bop.
this guy had a.
And they're hardcore European too, so
Yeah,
they're just
yeah.
like, they're just like a very stern look. You know what I mean?
This guy's grandmother had a barbecue here when I was here, and it was only like 5 of us, maybe. It was only 5 or 6
It's enough
people.
to feed an army, man.
There's like 25 fucking steaks,
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
chickens cut to
Italian,
like
yeah,
fucking
it's Italian,
huge,
it's
yeah,
so
yeah.
much salad. The salad was like fucking
No,
gangster.
man, watching that
I
movie
couldn't believe it.
Goodfellas,
Oh,
where
shit.
they go to the guy's house and his mom's like wakes up. Oh, hi, let me fix you up something quick. Makes an entire like 2-course meal or something.
That's the best part of that movie. And he's like, hey, Grant, no, you're going to use the steak knife?
Yes.
It's taking the stuff that you're going to use to cut the body.
I hit a deer and the hoof got stuck. In
The guy's alive in the trunk, just like,
Yeah.
stabbing him.
Oh shit!
That's a great movie, man.
that was
Goodfellas.
sick. That was a sick movie. Yeah.
Perfectly acted.
Oh, yeah. Joe Pesci's best role. I loved him in
Ribs,
that movie.
ribs are good. I prefer ribs if I'm like at someone's house and someone made them.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge fan of
love
ribs. I'm not a huge
I
fan
love
of ribs
making
from
ribs.
like these places. Like,
No, I
don't
know.
Sometimes I could eat them, but a lot of times it's like,
Oh,
oh,
it's too dry.
they
A lot
find
of
a way
it's
to
too dry.
chance you, eh? Sometimes
gotta-
they'll be like really fatty or something. Like that.
I find it would be too
Making
dry.
good ribs is an entire day process.
I love
you gotta
it.
let the,
I love
you
it.
gotta let the
The-
meat
the
soak.
best
You gotta,
ribs that I
so it
had-
comes fall
the
off
best
the
ribs
bone
that I
and
had
everything,
was
right?
with my buddy's girlfriend. They like freaking like were cooking like all day,
Yeah.
and like this was like fall off the bone. They like brined the meat for like
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
People
how-
do
it
them
must
in
have been like
different
a
ways,
day in
too.
like
It's like,
salt
yeah.
water or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, it was
You
great.
either brine the meat or you pre-boil it,
No.
which is a quick way to do it, and then you just put
Hey,
it in there,
and
right?
I've made
it's-
ribs, and I'm
both
not
ways
really
are
that
pretty
good
good.
at making ribs.
Have you seen the technique where you put the meat inside a big Ziploc bag with a ton of sauce and seasoning, and you squish it? You beat the meat up inside of it like really bad.
like tenderize it.
Yeah.
kind of
Oh,
thing.
you
No,
tenderize
I
the
haven't.
meat, and then what you do is, so after the meat opens up a little bit, after you're tenderizing it so much, all the seasoning goes into the crevices, right?
Yeah.
You put it in the fridge and you let it sit for like 2 or 3 days or something like that, or maybe a couple days, and then you take it out and you fucking cook it.
Mm.
And it's like the seasoning is like in every single fucking particle of that steak. You still get that steak juice and flavor too. It's really good. That's another good way to do it. But also with like ribs, yeah, I think the easiest way to do ribs is to make sure you boil it first properly with like.
So you're a boiler, right?
With-
I boil
with-
first,
boil
of
it.
course.
You
Yeah.
don't
With-
just
with
let it-
steak-
And then slow cook, and then slow
then
cook
slow
after for
cook
ribs.
after.
With
And it's
steak,
man,
with
you're
steak,
falling
I never
apart at
put
that
sauce.
point.
Yeah.
I never make steak with sauce.
You just
I-
eat it.
You don't,
regular,
eh?
plain?
Put a little bit of
I'm
pepper and stuff.
totally a
maybe.
sauce guy. I love the
Really?
sauce. All over. I
No,
just
no.
drown it in sauce.
I can go without
Yeah.
the sauce too, though. I
Really?
agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Sometimes
I find when you like start cutting, if you do it like medium
my main
rare,
general
you,
is just
you,
I like
you get the blood, and the blood
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
becomes the sauce.
It's not actually
for it.
blood; it's a type of protein. But
Mm.
I remember when I used to eat steak, I would always get it like more well done, and I would always need more sauce because it'd be too dry. It wouldn't be. You don't enjoy the steak as much as when you get it more rare because it is more chewy, but you're getting more of that juice, and you're also getting a higher protein count too. I think when you cook it, you cook a lot of those proteins out
Yeah,
of
you
it.
do. You do. Yeah, I get that.
So and on top of that, you can't really get sick from it if you eat it too rare. I don't eat it too rare. Like there's people. We have a mutual friend that eats it pretty much raw.
Who's that?
Number 9.
No.
I've seen him go real rare, like a little, like even I'm just like
I'm a fan of the rare. I
That
like
rare?
rare,
No,
rare
some
to
people
medium rare.
go-
That's how I eat it.
some
Really?
people go.
Yeah,
I kind of prefer
like
like
tasting
medium
the,
rare, somewhat slightly
yeah.
to the medium there.
Like,
you know.
For me, it's just like a couple seconds on one side and the other.
That's
it's like,
fucked.
oh,
Yeah, I don't
man.
do that.
You know what I mean? Like just a nice brown on the outside and then pink,
Yeah.
reddish,
Yeah,
like bleeding in the
I
middle.
like
Like
that. I
I'm
like
good
that.
with that.
I
Like,
like it a little more than that.
I like my steak still twitching.
Yeah, man. Like steak's probably something I could eat at like all times of the day.
It's weird
That's
that humans
breakfast,
can digest
lunch,
that shit,
and
eh?
dinner.
Like raw beef. We have the enzymes to digest
But you
raw
can't do
beef.
chicken.
It's weird. Yeah, and you can't do any other
pork.
meat.
Can't
No,
do
you
pork
can't do
'cause
any
of
other meat.
trichinosis.
Only beef, which is weird, eh?
Yeah. Well, no, pork.
strange.
Oh,
No,
no.
pork you can-
But
No.
pork you should know. But with beef, there's another one you can eat too.
Wait, what?
You can
wait,
practically
hold on, I
eat-
heard that it was actually you had a harder time digesting steak.
No. Humans have an easier time digesting raw beef, raw
Oh,
cow,
raw.
as opposed to any other animal. It's weird that we have the enzymes that we can do that, right?
We can eat certain fishes raw.
Yeah.
And on top of that,
Fish, yes, but
some
it has
of
to be prepared like sushi, right?
also
I could eat sushi.
I
people
love
also
sushi.
are
Those like California rolls.
you
Oh
can
my God.
eat you can eat
It's one of my
lizards.
favorite foods.
Yeah.
You can actually eat lizards raw.
Really?
Some lizards you can eat raw. Yeah, no problem. People have eaten dog raw, like really raw, like coyote and shit.
What?
Not eat
Who the
coyote
fuck
unless
did that?
unless
Like
Steve Rinella did
North
that.
Korea?
Steve Rinella did that. He's a hunter from BC.
I would not eat a dog unless it came down to survival. Like
I wouldn't even do that. I'd fucking die
rather
than
die than eat a dog.
Like, oh my God.
Really?
How would I live with
We've
myself?
talked about this.
after?
We've talked
Yeah.
about
How
eating
did I live
dogs.
with myself
Why do we
after?
always come back to eating dogs, man?
Not only that, I heard it's terrible. Well, I watched the movie The Grey, and I heard that it was terrible to eat. Like when they were eating the wolf, it was like, oh, it tastes like
Oh,
shit.
the movie. I was
The
gonna
Grey
say,
was
if you know a
good. It was a
person's
good
eating
movie.
dog.
I think I watched it with you guys.
Yo, but I met some Filipino people.
That's the first
I
time
watched the movie
it.
like 2 or 3 times. Man.
I watched the
Really?
movie quite a few times too.
Yeah, this is the only
was a
time I
good one.
saw it. It was great. I liked it.
Liam Neeson was a gangster in it. Who fights a gang of wolves? Who does it?
It wins.
And the elephant.
Well,
man.
wait,
Yeah.
does he win though?
The
I
elf.
don't know.
Does he win? You never really find in the end.
Mm.
But he did it.
Sorry, spoiler alert.
He's
Yeah,
Liam
you haven't
seen
Neeson,
The
so he
Grey.
probably did.
Yeah, he duct taped a bunch of classes.
If you haven't seen The Grey, Liam Neeson wins. Like he does in every movie.
One hitter quitter.
Yeah,
He killed it. He found the dog, or he found the king and killed the king.
I don't lose.
But man, he plays a character in a movie called Taken.
Oh yeah, I watched Taken.
Oh, I've never heard of that movie.
Was it Taken?
He is really
I watched
bad.
Taken 2, Taken. I watched Taken 1,
watched all the
obviously.
Takens, but I don't remember.
I don't know if I watched Taken 3.
He had been taken way too many times.
Yeah.
Or like his family, not him. He's never been taken, but his wife and his
Yeah,
daughter.
he was. In Taken 2, he was taken.
He was taken into. Oh, he was taken into. he
this
was taken in
conversation.
Taken 2.
Was he taken in the Taken movie?
Was he
I
taken
don't even know.
into the other one?
Was he
Yeah,
taken
he
at
was
all?
taken in Taken 2 and had to get his daughter to come save him.
Oh, that was the one where he was taken.
He was like,
He was taken.
I get it. Okay.
So
she was like chucking grenades and shit.
yeah.
Fucking sick.
then
Around the
horrible.
city, eh? Just like,
And then
fucking,
she
oh yeah, no big deal.
she completely saved him, and then he
You
was
need
not
child
taken.
service at that point, man. He's such a horrible father. She's
but
been taken like 3
She's over
times.
18. I'm pretty sure she's over 18, man.
Yeah.
Nothing really bad ever happens to her too. They just hold her like, yes, we got her. Are we gonna like go fuck her up? You know what I mean? I already kind of bumped her a little on the way in. In real life, if they had her, what would they be doing? Let's be real, boys.
What's that?
The daughter, the mom, a bunch of terrorists are taking them.
If it's
Wait,
Liam
wait,
Neeson's
no,
daughter,
no,
absolutely nothing at fucking
I don't
all.
know. Usually they want to probably use them as like a bargaining chip.
Well, they were trying to sell her in the first one as a sex slave.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, no, but that is actually something that is
happens.
like that's
That
a big
brings
thing
it-
in
that
Europe.
brings
us
to a
It's-
serious
Sex trafficking
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
sex
Yeah,
trafficking.
it's all kinds of
So
shit.
I find it funny when the Pope is saying like, "Oh, global warming's our biggest issue." It's like, no, it's
No,
sex
it's-
trafficking.
It's
Yeah.
the
And you're
corruption in your
freaking in on
Catholic
it.
church too, man.
Who did you just accuse of being on?
The Catholic, wait, hold on a second. The Catholic Pope was worried about global warming.
Of course,
I'm pretty sure they said like, "Oh yeah, global warming's a big issue."
He actually said
You
that.
know what the funniest part about being the Pope is? You got the Pope who's like, all these world powers are ready to go to war, and the Pope's just like, oh, please, Jesus Christ, please, God, be real, be real, be real. Like, he's like, please don't let my side be for nothing.
Fucking kidding me? No, they're all fucking. I don't think they're.
I think he
as
knows.
fuck.
I think the
Yeah.
Pope knows religion's a scam. I think he knows.
He found out all the truth once he got elected as
It's
Pope.
like, listen,
He's like, hey, we're going to show you what's really going
we
on here
got
behind this
no
black curtain here.
proof of God, and we actually know the guy who wrote the Bible. He's actually just some totally normal dude, and it's been a club we've kind of been going. The ritual is you come in, we all act religious and shit, and we get people to donate money.
All right, this is a headline. Wild one just gave me. Pope calls global warming a sin.
A sin?
It's a sin.
The earth
He
is
called it a sin. Global
earth
warming is a
is
sin.
sinning.
Is that a sin that the earth is committing right now?
The earth is sinning right now.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Does that just take religion to a whole new level
Welcome
of
to
stupidity?
God.
Like, that's ridiculous.
Oh,
Earth
it's
shall not
ridiculous.
sin.
You know what? Okay.
Global
Oh,
warming
shit.
is
The earth's going to hell because of the climate change. 'Cause
Oh,
it's
God.
sinning. Holy shit.
fucking
Earth is
Could you
sinning.
imagine
Well, I guess
if
everyone...
religion ends up being real and apocalypse after? Why? Bomb dropped.
It's like
global warming. It's I don't know.
It's a cycle that
I
the
think
Earth
it's
is
really
going through.
pushed. It's really
Yeah.
pushed. Now, is there some legitimacy to it? Probably.
Yeah.
Is it man-made? I have my doubts.
I highly doubt that,
I don't think it's
that we
But it
are
is-
contributing
but it is
that
happening.
much into the Earth's climate.
Regardless of who did it, it's
I think
happening.
no. I
No.
think it's probably like, I don't know. I have like I think that there's like other like fucking planets that are also getting like just as hot. I think it's just like the sun probably getting.
No, it's
hotter.
planets that go through a
I don't-
cycle.
They're trying to say that carbon is the problem.
No, this has happened before though.
It's happened many times before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only thing, we're looking at it on a selfish level, right? Like human beings,
Yeah.
we're saying, oh, okay.
No, not in our time. We're
Yeah,
humans.
no,
We'll
it's like,
stop
no,
the
because we're thinking
planet.
about our survival, right?
Yeah.
It's like the planet would be fine without us if we,
No,
whether we
the
were on it or not.
planet's
It's like,
just
Actually-
fine with us.
actually, I
you,
have-
you fuck with it too much, it's gonna throw you out. That's all.
exactly.
I-
That's
I-
its way of purging itself,
Yeah,
right? That's
like-
the thing.
I have
So-
an argument for the planet's life though. We technically can. We have the power to stop meteorites.
do we?
I think we do.
What,
Yeah.
Armageddon?
No,
Oh, like
it's-
firing rockets at it or
yeah.
something like
Like
that.
For small ones, and then
Hold
for big
on,
ones, they
I'm
change the
gonna-
rotation.
I'm gonna
No,
look
we have
this up. I
Jupiter
thought-
for that. You know that Jupiter
but
actually
America,
collects a lot
but
of
it
what's coming out.
Not America, but the whole planet has the ability to do that as well.
In case of emergency.
In case
They've
of
never had to
emergency.
do it. They've
No,
never had to use
sometimes asteroids hit and they don't even know though.
it. Maybe. Yeah.
No, it happens.
Has it?
It has happened.
Never on like land though. Like the
Uh,
world's like 75%
here,
water,
I got
so
one
it's,
for you.
it's mostly
I
hitting
got
the
one for
ocean
you.
or whatever.
Russia. Nobody
Has
knew that
been
was
hit
going to
by a
happen.
meteor?
You don't know what happened when the meteor hit Russia?
Oh, the giant light thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They didn't even know. They were like, "Oh, I got by us." Oh, our bad. Like,
Whoops.
yeah, the crater was massive.
Yeah.
Thank God it wasn't a big one.
I remember there was something about like Russia saying that it was going to shoot down a meteor or something, but
They were actually going to attack a meteor coming
Good for
towards
them,
us.
man.
they were going to.
I'm on Team Russia for that one. I'm totally on Team Russia for that.
Oh, hey, man. The way I see it, Russia's like probably the only country that's like, ironically enough, still fighting for like the fucking free
Yeah.
world.
No,
Like,
they don't live in a free country. Please don't say that. They
what do you
live
mean
in
they
still
don't live in a free country?
Communist.
Like, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. He
Putin.
can kill
And-
people right on live
Wait,
TV.
hold on. Obama can on live TV. Wait, where did
Not on live
Putin
TV.
kill him?
Not on
On
live
live TV.
He
I would
killed
love
a
to-
reporter though in broad daylight in the middle of the street though. He had him killed.
Oh, who says that?
Putin.
I've heard
More
things,
than once.
I've heard things that
Wait,
Obama
wait,
killed.
wait.
I've heard things that Obama killed opponents of him.
Probably. Hillary
Are you
Clinton
fucking
definitely
Oh,
had it.
probably, but it's okay when they do it. But like,
No,
we're
but not the way he does it. He does
Oh, wait,
He strikes
what is
fear.
the
First I'm
difference?
hearing of
You
this.
think- You think Obama hugs his enemies to death? Come on.
He does it secretly, but he
He
slowly
charms
slips
them.
the
Are you kidding me?
Sure he does. He plays it. He charms his own country.
Yeah.
That's
Everyone loves everyone that like they. I don't know. Every idiot that likes the establishment, they just love Obama. Oh, Obama's so great. He's such a great. This guy's a monster.
He's horrible.
He
but
he did things worse than George Bush did.
did he?
The
You
fucking
think so?
drone program. Do you know they send like drones around
Yeah,
the fucking
yeah.
around like certain countries taking out fucking people?
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
They
he even
hit
took out.
weddings.
He even took out I
wedding.
think 2 American fucking citizens.
Wow.
He's killed a lot of people by accident.
For what
Why-
reason?
So what is this drone program like specifically for? Like,
For terrorists.
Right.
so what?
to-
Just monitoring our
How it
own
works-
country? Like,
No.
How it
This
works.
is in like Yemen. This is
Oh,
in
okay.
fucking
How
in
it
like
works
other
is
Pakistan.
a
So
plane-
he's chalking it up to like a glitch in the program. He's like, "Whoops, sorry, we didn't run this whole test."
Yeah,
of the
no,
drone."
they
It's
just
like,
no.
innocent
no,
people are
no,
gonna
no,
die.
No. They'll
It's
hit
like-
a target that they think an actual target is at,
right,
but there's nobody there who's actually a terrorist. They'll just do a whole innocent wedding.
just some guy.
By accident,
Yeah,
they just
yeah,
they
wrong
would
place
lost
at the
different
wrong
information.
time.
Yeah, man. No, the guy's a fucking murderer, and people just think, oh, he's just like fucking nice,
But-
charming, fucking upstanding. No, he's a fucking monster.
George
Well, a lot of
Bush
the
did
presidents have
actually
to put on a
invade a
face
country,
like
which is
that.
a little more than the drone strike. Because
Wait,
there
okay.
wouldn't be a drone strike if he didn't invade that country. That's pretty bad. But Obama,
You
in
believe
my,
him?
I don't know.
Keep going, yeah.
For the general public's sake, that would be the
Yeah.
argument for what had happened. Like, you know what I mean? They attacked, they went in, bullshit.
Okay. Wait, something. Did George Bush invade Syria?
No,
Did he invade Libya?
no.
Okay.
But he did sit at the.
Did he
did
have
bomb.
airstrikes in
Yes.
Yemen?
He did have airstrikes. Yeah,
In Yemen?
I think so. He
Are
did.
you
He
sure?
did it. He did bomb.
You don't know for sure though, right?
No, I
That's
don't
the
know.
thing, Yeah.
I would look that up if I were you.
Why?
Because I don't think he did.
Why do you think he did?
Because there was nothing said about fucking Yemen when George Bush was in office, man. Like Obama,
Still,
Obama.
Not,
Okay,
not as many people died in Yemen
What do you mean?
compared to fucking when
A lot of people died in Yemen, and
But
currently
U.S. soldiers died too, though, when he was in power.
Who was?
Bush.
Oh yeah, sure.
That's what I mean. The cost of the amount of lives he costs is more than Obama. The only reason why Obama is because the reason why Obama, because he started it. He was the president that kicked it off, and now the next president has to come in and do the same fucking shit.
Oh, he has to do the same
shit. He does.
He shouldn't just like stick to his words of saying that I'm going to end the wars. Like when he was running,
because he wants to win presidential. He wants to be the president.
Politician promises that they can't keep.
But also,
do you think that the people should have a right to get rid of the person they elect in power?
That's the whole thing with impeachment, right? Yeah, I mean they did it with Bill Clinton. Because he got a blowjob in the fucking officer.
If probably a lot of other things.
If Bush didn't invade those countries, would Obama be attacking those countries?
Well, Obama certainly attacked Libya and Syria, and George Bush didn't invade those countries.
Yeah. Well, he did it because he's trying to help someone else.
Oh, okay. We're gonna go with that, right?
Isn't that what they went with?
That's true. That's what they went with.
Yeah.
I don't believe
they're playing diplomat with war.
No, the whole thing on the Syrian war is it was about a pipeline going from I think Qatar to Turkey. And it had to either go through Iraq or Syria, and it wouldn't have gone through Iraq.
A pipeline for what? Like oil?
Gas or oil? I think it was oil. Mm-hmm. So then Turkey, it's this whole really fucked up like web, like because it either had to go through Iraq or Syria, and fucking Iraq was at that point controlled by a government that's more favorable to Iran, so they're definitely not going to be down to like let them use that, and it was either that or Syria.
So they went with Syria.
Well, they had to like fucking kind of like save, like ask, like see if they could get it through Syria, and the guy said no. Bashar al-Assad said no because he is an ally with Russia.
So then they just forced their way in.
That's why there's a 5-year civil war going on in Syria right now.
Yeah, but think about it. In those countries, they always do stupid shit like that.
Like what?
Just do stupid shit.
Well,
attack each other over bullshit like that. That's stupid shit.
Well, like, I don't know.
Do you think they have the right to do it? Do you believe they have the right to attack?
Oh, certainly not. No.
So then, is that not stupid?
It's stupid. Yeah, exactly. I would say it's a little more than stupid. It's putting people's. And now they're trying to push fucking this whole thing that they're trying to like get rid of this fucking guy who's running this country now because he's a bad guy and not because we want to put someone in there who's going to actually let a pipeline of oil go through there. And America fucking, they kicked over a hornet's nest that now they can't even control.
So you think it's America's fault?
America actually works a lot like the mob. If you find it, they want to overthrow a government from another country and then put their own guy in there, kind of thing.
It's 100% their fault. They wanted regime change. It's the same story that they've had for fucking decades now.
I'm not going to say that I agree, but in a way, you're right. I'm not going to say that I agree.
You're gonna say that I'm right, but you're not gonna agree.
I'm going to say that. Okay, yes.
so you think that people are going to start an armed revolution and a jihad because the price of bread went up?
It sounds bad.
By a couple of cents?
But
that's a legitimate reason.
But where's the revolution here? Food went up by like a couple of dollars here. Because they wanted to find a way to have the EU isolated from Russia. They couldn't do that because Russia is supposed to supply the EU with most of its gas or oil.
Yeah.
I think it was gas.
So Russia wants to go into Syria.
That and Russia is a longtime ally of Syria.
Huh.
It goes back to the USSR. They were allies.
So who's occupying Syria right now exactly? No American soldiers.
It's a quagmire. There are American soldiers in Syria.
I know there's NATO.
Well, like I don't know.
NATO's the only reason why Syria.
America's not part of NATO.
They are. All countries are. But it's kind of dumb. I don't really like. I don't agree with NATO.
NATO is kind of a stupid thing. It's like it's a collective of fucking countries.
You know what's funny?
It's like the UN, but they don't really do anything. Even the UN, you could argue, doesn't do shit either.
It's like if there's like a football game and they had a line of soldiers that they never used.
And what happened was What happened was America started funneling a bunch of fucking jihadists into Syria. Yeah. They started arming them with the weapons that they stole from Libya once they fucking overthrew the Libyan dictator. and they fucking they funneled it to fucking Turkey, and then Turkey
And
funneled all these jihadists.
this is all fact.
There's fucking things you could fucking.
Wild speaking with conviction right
I
now.
don't.
Like he knows his shit.
I'll stand by it. I'll stand by it and say that it's fact.
I think a lot of Americans do as well.
Yeah.
I think that it's just kind of like ridiculous to think that it's not.
So when America does something like this, and even this is another example. Hillary Clinton with the emails, the FBI, they had a video of the FBI agent saying it would be her denying something. The emails did not contain this, and the FBI guy would show the next clip, and it contained this. It'd be the exact same thing, and they did not say this, and then they show the video again, and we said this. Like she literally said that she was doing she said the complete opposite of everything.
Even in her emails, it fucking says like there's like a part where we're gonna destroy Syria for Israel. So we can get rid of another Iranian fucking ally in that region.
That was found in her emails?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, you can find that.
Lying at that point, man. That's what I'm saying. It's the lesser of two evils at this point. Like,
holy shit, that's not.
I'm guessing you're a Trump supporter.
Yo, so what the fuck?
At this point,
hold on. Like
Canada would be.
Where I think the guy's a douche.
Yeah.
Yes, like. The biggest argument against him is that he's a bit of a dumbass and that he's an asshole. That's the biggest argument. Hillary Clinton has a.
It's not that he's dangerous. He's inexperienced, but he's a good businessman.
He's accidentally.
If anyone could bring the Americans out of debt, it's fucking Trump.
I'm kind of on that thing too. I kind of actually do think that if anyone,
he might not bring him out of debt, but he'll help. He'll definitely help.
He's bankrupted a lot of times. I think 11 times.
Well, what's he going to do? Is he really going to sell the country out? Like, the country's already sold out. If anything, he's going to buy it back.
How the fuck is he going to buy it back?
Eliminate the trade with China. That's what he wants to do.
He wants to cut off trade with us.
He wants to cut off trade with China.
No, hold on. He wants to get rid of NAFTA. NAFTA is a completely fucking bullshit fucking, like, free trade deal. It's not even free trade. Yeah. It's just us outsourcing all our fucking bullshit. All our fucking work and jobs. Which actually not bullshit, but, like, all the fucking valuable things that we had. That's when the dollar started fucking becoming more fucking like worthless. Was like in the 90s and shit. That's when all this shit started getting fucked up. That's when they introduced NAFTA. It was garbage.
And I think Trump views it as if you want to be partners with America, you're gonna have to pay more. You can keep our rewards, but you're gonna have to put more than what you guys are getting in.
Yeah.
That's the way he sees it. And he sees if Canada were to help America do that, they would get much more out of debt. And he sees it as a winning solution. But at the same time, if he cuts off Canada, they say they decide to stop doing business with America.
Well,
He said he was going to cut ties with Canada.
Hold on.
Where the fuck are they going to get their maple syrup?
Yeah, exactly. and their fucking beaver
their lumber and shit. It's all coming from Canada.
And their flannel coats. And their beard groomers.
And their oil.
And all the hockey players for their American teams.
And their timber.
No, well... I don't know. I don't think he's gonna actually cut all trade off of the country. Like that. Hold on. That's the stupid fucking thing. That's like putting sanctions on fucking Russia. That's why all. Hold on. That's why all those EU countries are now suffering because they fucking put sanctions on a country that they usually do a lot of business with. Yeah. That's not smart. Like he's probably gonna renegotiate new trade deals. That's gonna probably be better for both countries.
You think it'd be better for both countries?
Might be. I don't fucking know.
Canada's got a pretty sweet ride right now.
At the same time, like, I don't know. I'm on the economy. I'm not a huge like Donald Trump supporter. I'm not like
you don't think he could fix the economy?
He could probably do a little bit better, but I think the only thing that could fix the economy.
That's about the only thing he's good at.
The American economy and the only things that can fix these economies would be a free market, deregulated fucking system of doing things in the economy, like. You have fair competition, and you don't have these fucking corporations that are in bed with fucking government.
But these corporations have become corporations because somebody at some point did something to make it like that.
Yeah, like getting in bed with government, cutting out all competition.
When they get enough money, they can offer that to them. And the government, I guess you can say that crisis kind of stems from governments wanting to have a control over like a certain type of medicine. Or anything like this expensive.
I personally think that government has no place in the economy.
Yeah, of course, but the only thing that
what do they have? The government's only role.
It's what they have is what makes them valuable. They have hospitals, they have police, they have fire trucks, they have not just fire trucks. They have fire department.
Okay, people should be able to like fund those. I think, yeah.
Yes, but how do you do that without a government? How do you do that with people?
Oh, I wouldn't be
It's all
totally.
right.
Hold on, I wouldn't be totally opposed to a fucking having maybe some type of a consumer tax.
And do we not need a military from the government?
I don't know. If you were to ask me,
think you do.
I really don't think like
That's,
this is
uh,
debatable.
That's how
Hold on.
strong militaries are. You look at
What do we
America's
need a strong? What do we actually need a strong military for?
government. I'd rather
well,
be the
for
country
other countries,
killing and
not.
getting killed. I have
Hold
loved ones
on,
living here. I don't want to die. You need the military.
So you think that we would be invaded by like
That's a
foreign
vulnerability that you
country?
have,
I
like,
think it'd be
all
a
around the whole
vulnerability.
planet. It's like,
Who-
hey, this
who-
country
who would
doesn't have a
come-
military. That's free for
Let's make the argument that like Russia would come here. Okay, like
Okay.
they couldn't calm down Afghanistan when they went there when they were at their strongest.
I get that, but
They're gonna colonize parts of Canada.
do you want to live like Afghanistan?
What do you mean? We would be more advanced than Afghanistan was.
Obviously, but why the fuck do you want to fight with them?
Fight with who? I don't want to fight with anyone.
But you'd want the Americans to just come in with their soldiers and just take whatever the fuck they want. Take all their resources. drain
No, we
everything.
could certainly make fucking trade deals with these people, and we could deal with
What
them like that. It
country-
doesn't have. It doesn't
What
have.
country? Trade deal. Ha! I like trade deals. I love trade deals.
Yeah, but as soon
Anyway,
as they
listen,
find out that you don't have a
because you-
military
because you
protecting you,
can't
it's like, where does
defend
that
it. Because
diplomacy
you
goes
can't
out the
defend
window,
yourself.
right? It's
Hold on,
like,
hold on.
we're just gonna take
Okay,
everything we want.
I'm
and-
gonna rebuttal this. Just wait.
okay.
Okay.
Just go ahead with what you were saying, and I want to rebuttal it.
Okay. Well, that's basically what I'm saying. Like, you need a military to keep
Have you
you
heard
safe.
of Costa Rica?
What about Costa Rica?
Did you know that Costa Rica doesn't have a military?
Yeah,
But they're
so what?
protected. They're also protected by a country that does have a military,
That's not
which
enough,
is the
though.
U.S.
Wait, like,
Right.
hold on. Really?
They're not protected by the
Does
Americans?
the U.S. have fucking soldiers in Costa Rica?
Well, no, but if anyone was to invade Costa Rica, there'd be a huge backlash by the
And,
Americans.
hold on.
It's like-
And you don't think that there would be a huge like, let's just say that this was the case. Personally, I would be more in favor of like localized militias.
What are people going to?
And
what are
and
people
then
going
and
to
then
Costa Rica
like,
for, though?
say that there's
Canada's
provincial.
different.
Hold on. Say that there's provincial militias. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you could fucking like. What's actually the difference between a fucking completely federalized military and a fucking provincialized militia if you have like all the provinces having their own
It
militia?
depends on how big your country is and what you have that other countries want. If people want resources from Canada, right now we don't have a military. If a country with jets and planes is like, yeah, we're just going to take everything, there's nothing you can do. There's literally nothing you can do. I'm not saying that country would on morals, but like if Russia was just like, we want all your resources. And
So
you don't have a military. So
Like you were saying,
gonna take them.
so people aren't gonna fucking stand up, rebel, and try and start.
Exactly, but you don't have a developed military to defend yourself.
Do you know
That's the thing. A lot of, like you were
Paying the
saying, a
taxes
lot of
to develop
countries
these
don't have
weapons.
their own military,
To
but they are
develop
protected
these
by other
weapons.
countries.
Jesus
Like
Christ.
Japan doesn't have its own military either,
But
but they're
they can't.
protected by the UN.
You can have
protected by
a military that's
Yeah,
just
because
Because
not
of
allowed.
stupid shit they do.
Germany
Yeah.
doesn't have its own military either.
Yeah, they
But
do.
that's-
They do.
they
They
actually?
do.
They have this special
No.
forces. They don't have a
No,
military.
they have a
They don't
military.
actually have.
They can't go to
Do they
war.
actually?
Germany
What?
has no army.
I'm calling bullshit.
Germany
they-
and Japan don't have armies. They started World War II.
Pretty sure Germany's not allowed to have
They're
an
not
army.
allowed. Neither is
No.
Japan.
You guys could be right. You guys could very well be
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Well, I'm not
bullshit.
saying. I'm not saying.
I'm
it's fact.
calling
I'm not saying
bullshit.
it's 100% fact. Yeah.
Check it. They do have an elite squad, but it's
Like the
not,
German
They
Spetsnaz
don't
or like SEAls or some shit.
Yeah.
But that's about it, right?
there's no like fucking.
They're allowed to play, but they're not allowed
Yeah.
to fucking actually get on theirs.
Okay, the German army, 1955 to present.
They don't have an army.
So there was a point where they weren't allowed an army.
Yeah,
It was 55 where
bro,
they,
check it.
Okay,
They-
so
It's 55 to present. They
right.
have one.
So they were probably just in
Come
the
on,
50s
man.
allowed to actually
Yeah, man, they've been in fucking conflicts
since World War II. With what country?
since after
World War II, right?
Yeah, they have an army. Fuck,
So Germany has somewhat of an army, I guess, but Japan.
somewhat of an army.
They don't have. Like,
Canada
they don't have
has somewhat of an army.
They don't have nukes. They don't have
Canada, I'm pretty sure doesn't have nukes.
nukes. Canada has nukes.
Canada has nukes.
Canada has
You
nukes.
would-
They made a fucking beer.
Canada has nukes.
Yeah, I know, like a beer
We're
can.
gonna drop a keg.
Keys
We're gonna drop a giant
Fucking
keg on
maple
fucking-
syrup covered, for fuck's sakes.
I don't know.
Canada.
I doubt that. I don't know if Canada has nukes.
Let's find
It's
out.
Way too nice to have any kind of fucking
I know.
mass destruction.
Japan might not have an army.
No, and I don't know the reason for that. What was the reason they weren't allowed an army?
Probably because they were fucked in the head in World War II.
But that was World War II. Like they had a nuke drop down.
Hold on. They would probably have a very fucking like strong army. They have a lot of exports, man. They have a lot of.
Japan is.
Japan's crazy, man.
Yeah. China has a big army too.
Their cars there, like I don't like fucking you can tell the different like parts for these cars. Like a Honda Civic from Japan is like a lot better quality than a Honda Civic from fucking here.
What about modern cars? Are they better quality on the modern cars as well as versus the American ones here?
100%. I could, dude. These guys run their fucking cars on like 98 octane or some shit like that. Right. 99 octane.
Shit.
And because their emissions are so strict that after like 100,000 K, they take those cars off the road.
Are you serious?
They have to take the engines off the road.
The cars are 100K.
Yeah,
the cars
that's why my car is a fucking Japanese engine. The Subaru STI.
Right.
It's the Japanese one. Fucking.
And I heard about that. Like the Japanese and Asian models in general just don't have the high capacity for kilometers.
So no, they have the high capacity for it.
No, I don't think so. Man.
Yeah,
I think it's like once you hit at the most 300 clicks.
And
then that's when the engine will struggle with the Japanese make.
But some of them can get up.
You get like a Ford or a Dodge that'll go like 500 clicks, and it's still be running like
Chevy.
Okay, maybe not a Chevy.
No, Chevy will.
Chevy,
you think so?
A Chevy.
My Chevy fucking made it to was it 481?
You could still get it going too. You can still get it going.
When I parked it.
Yeah.
It did need a lot of work on it and shit, but it was mostly like body. Could have used the tune-up and shit to keep going, but
the one thing I'll say about Japanese and Asian cars though, everything
in America, everything made in America is all made with like Chinese fucking steel. You can tell the difference. I changed the transmission with my buddy on his car. And freaking, like, he took, was it a fucking Japanese transmission? I think it was a Japanese transmission we took off and put it on an American transmission. You could tell, like, the steel around the edge where it was all being bolted. You could just tell it was, like, that much fucking thinner. It was like,
just
almost like a few, like, fucking, like, 10 centimeters fucking thinner, like, shit.
Yeah. Well, I see some Hyundais, like, some of those Hyundais.
Hyundais are Korean.
Yeah, I know, Korean. You're
talking about Asian in general.
But sometimes I notice on some of their like a little bit older models, but the paint jobs would have like dripping paint and shit.
Really?
Yeah.
They just their bodies are not strong.
You're sure it wasn't painted, or is it right off the factory or something?
No, it's right off the factory. And on top of that, they rust like. The rust is insane because those cars are designed.
I used to own a Hyundai.
They're not designed.
Just a rust bucket.
When they're designed, they're not designed to deal with Canadian climate with all the winters and shit.
No,
that's true.
American
we eat up salt like crazy.
America and Canada have their car lives have two different car lives.
Yeah, America's last way long.
Yeah, Canadian cars get destroyed by the winter.
The one thing
use salt. The
one thing I'll give Asian models or cars.
We have to.
One thing is that. The entire body will fall apart. The transmission will be the last thing standing, and that thing will last for a long time.
Yeah.
It's efficiently made. I don't know how they do it, but the transmission will never go on one of those cars.
I know.
They're fucking crazy.
My car is like all JDM, all Japanese, just about.
And that engine will last forever.
We'll probably go for another little bit of a break.
You want to do that?
Want to break?
All right.
Do you guys want to get a coffee?
You want to do the old outro there? You want to do another thing?
Okay, let's come up with something different. Huh? Let's come up with something different.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, we're back, guys.
Boom, 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 boom.
Someone gave me a book, and I didn't even really read it, but it was about like the art of like using the katana sword.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it was anyway. I have it somewhere in my house. Next time I have it,
samurai battle.
It was like techniques and stuff like that. Yeah. Next time I find it,
they were big into Aikido. I think the samurais. It was Aikido and
mixed with swords.
Yeah, Steven Seagal shit.
Definitely Steven Seagal shit.
He's an Aikido guy. He's a legitimate Aikido guy.
Yeah, he's the only guy that has one.
He has a dojo in Japan. He's the only white guy to ever fucking.
He's got two of them.
Does he?
Yeah, but everyone hates him.
Does everyone?
Everyone hates him just like that. Yeah. Steven Seagal. I hate that guy.
You do, don't you?
I don't know. I could watch his movies like once every 6 years.
But can you take him seriously? Like,
movies are pretty bad acting sometimes.
But he's a badass motherfucker in all those movies. He's breaking necks from left to right.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous sometimes.
in some convenience stores in Canada, they have these packages. They have sex enhancement drugs, but they have them in gas stations in America, I think. And there used to be this one called horny goat weed, and I guess it was just some weed you buy and smoke. So they were like selling weed in a convenience store
marijuana.
for sex. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's not.
Because for a lot of people, marijuana actually
But
makes them
convenience
horny.
stores are kind of like drug dealers for like a while.
God. Kind of fucking weird. It made me like marijuana made me like a fucking nearly a vegetable where I was
Right?
sitting there
It does the
like,
same for me. Just
really?
like it just makes me like chill. Like,
It makes-
I don't want to
it's
even
like-
talk when I'm on. I'm just
Really?
like, yo, what up? I'm here.
you wait till like the fucking buzz dies down a little.
Yeah.
You get like a meal, and
You know
it
what
somehow turns out
the
to be
good
the best
thing,
meal you
actually-
ever ate.
Yeah, I know.
That is truth. Oh man. But the thing that it actually helps a lot with a hangover, you take a little bit of weed, it helps with the nausea.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah, like
I can see
I've
that.
done that many times. It's actually been really good.
Oh yeah, I was even talking to someone like recently. Freaking, this guy was like, he had like freaking wrist pains for fucking like
Yeah.
months. Man. This
Why?
guy started. I don't know. He's a fucking mechanic.
Mm.
Maybe just like fucking tweaked something wrong.
Carpal tunnel. Probably has carpal tunnel.
Maybe, but he started smoking. He started smoking weed, and this guy was like, "Oh yeah, man, fucking haven't had pain since."
Really.
Holy shit.
Buddy of mine goes to the gym rather than drinking protein. Well, he drinks protein after, but he doesn't get sore ever because he just fucking
Yeah.
gets high right after the gym. Muscle relaxer instantly.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's just like
Yeah.
in heaven.
People
after
take it
the- yeah.
before too, and it can get you some pretty.
I don't know
crazy
about
results.
before, man. It might make
You
you too
can't-
loose
no.
out there. You
No.
want to kind of go in with an
I can say
intensity,
some
right?
of my
Like,
best
it's-
workouts came from being high on weed.
Really?
Yeah, at least one or two of them.
I could never do
They
that.
let you just.
It dehydrates you
They
too.
allow
like,
you to have a focus to let you just go further.
Shit, I remember I was at the gym one time. I was stoned too, and I went to the fucking gym, and I'm like looking for weights to fucking put on this machine, and I just like see one there, and I grab one, and bring it. My buddy's like, "Dude, like someone's using that machine." I'm like, "What, like, dude?" And I fucking look up. This guy like twice the size of me, man. Fucking come, like taps me like, "Yo, that's my machine." I'm like, "Oh shit, man, I'm sorry." It's like fucking.
just makes you even more paranoid.
Yeah,
That's
it's like,
fucking
holy
good.
shit.
I fuck up just.
Take those giants weights.
Oh, totally sorry. This guy like fucking, and I'm like 230 or something at this point anyway. When I was
That's the
working.
thing, man. You go into a gym, you have the
This
proper
guy's like
etiquette, you're
fucking
gonna eat alive.
260 of like fucking muscle. and shit. Like, holy shit! Man.
You ever hit those guys that just grunt really loudly for no reason? Like,
I don't know. I remember when.
Are you a
going to the
grunter?
gym, I don't think so.
I don't think any of us. I don't think any of us would be grunters.
On that last rep, though, like when you're like,
Yeah,
you kind of let a little bit, like, you're like, fuck!
Yeah, but you're looking at it for attention at that point.
Yeah.
So
Not
nobody
that
gives a fuck
loud.
about the weight you're pulling.
I know, but there's guys who are just like, motherfucking good!
I've had the urge to do that a few
Yes.
times, but I never actually did that.
Yeah.
Do you ever drop a weight after a huge fucking, like a lot, like some heavy reps?
No,
And
no.
you're just like,
no.
like, you know that,
I find that
These guys that just let out like a,
Yeah.
a fucking squeal
The
when they're
discharge.
struggling really.
No, I find that you complete the set once you put down the weight nice and gently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of
If
just
you-
drop it.
If you
Well,
have
no,
the control
sometimes-
to put down the weight, that
sometimes,
makes
yeah.
When you're
gives you
doing
more
really heavy
satisfaction.
weight,
right?
when you're doing really heavy weight, you gotta let it go because you're risking dropping if it's super heavy.
Never. I don't know what super.
I have a theory.
CrossFit,
I have
man,
a
they
theory.
drop some of the.
Well,
they drop the
CrossFit's
levels.
its own different thing.
I have a
It's like-
theory though. If you can't hold the weight on your own and bring it up by yourself, you should not be carrying that weight. Like you can't get a spot
Yeah.
to fucking help. It's like
No.
at that point, it's like okay, yeah, you're working out the muscle, but like, are you really that strong? Like
You are. No
you're
way.
not though,
At
because
that
if you
point,
can't
your
actually
body-
carry the weight
I
yourself
remember
without any
picking
help,
up like
like,
100-pound dumbbells just to do like shoulder shrugs or
Right.
something like that. And like, yeah, I'd never drop those.
Yeah.
I'd just,
Yeah.
like, make sure to like put them down after.
Maybe it's like Brock Lesnar. When he's doing like curls, he just drops
I don't
his
know.
shit on the mat.
Apparently
He's-
doing
who's gonna
steroids,
tell him
too.
otherwise?
Yeah, so the opposite.
can you imagine going to Brock Lesnar and just walking up?
Have a balanced breakfast on steroids because they're great.
Imagine walking up to Brock Lesnar and telling him to be quiet during a workout.
Hey.
Other people are working.
Yeah, no, don't even.
I'm sorry, Mr. Lesnar,
You,
but
you guys are like condescending to the poor guy. I was like, listen, hey, Lesnar,
you to call
love what
Lesnar.
you do.
Hey, buddy, Lesnar. Hey,
Love what you do.
big fan.
Great. You're also very good at working out. But what I'm gonna suggest, because we're all working out here together, and we're all human beings, right? Maybe you just keep it down just a little
Then,
bit.
then like when you're talking, he's just like, "Ah!" Like after he beat Frank Mir, this guy just like fucking drool coming out of it. "Ah!"
Even in WWE,
He
he
takes you to Suplex City, man.
WWE he did that shit. And you remember he came out and he was like, "Yeah!" Like his fucking voice cracked. He screamed and his voice cracked. And Lesnar's just like, "Yeah!"
It's like hearing Mike Tyson talk for the first time.
Yeah, that's
He's
hilarious.
this big guy.
Oh man, he wasn't that big, but he's scary looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, how they going?
Well, heavyweight champion.
He's like talking shit to the pizza guy. I'm like, well, I'll kick your ass. And the pizza guy's like, "Yeah, motherfucker." Goes there, Mike Tyson.
He sounds like he's 90 pounds soaker.
Yeah, yeah.
And you meet the guy, it's like, who the fuck is this guy?
Fucking right hook from hell. Man, every time that guy, the Grim Reaper was embodying his body when he was fighting in boxing. Every punch was death. That guy had the touch of death. He touched you, you went to sleep.
Yeah.
Best traits about him. Also, very entertaining when he talks too.
Tyson?
Yep.
It's a
Or
comedic
it's like when he like loses his temper or something.
No, man. Have you ever seen his specials where it's like the documentary of him? He does it. He still does it.
Okay, not back then, but right now he's actually good at making fun of himself and like his
He's great at it.
Back then, if you said anything to piss him off, like he'd fucking rip your head off. He was the most unstable, insecure person back in the 90s because like you say the wrong thing to him and you just have to fucking like.
How much roids was he doing?
I don't know if it was roids. It was just he was just
I think it was probably
just
like
angry. He was just
drugs, probably.
He was just an angry guy back then.
No, but do you think he did roids?
I don't know. It's hard to say. It's
No,
honestly
not in
hard to-
boxing,
Like,
not in-
hey,
Look at the shape he was in.
hold on. Personally, I think in the UFC, I actually think that like most of the people in the UFC, and by most of the people in the UFC, I mean like 98% of the people in UFC are probably doing steroids.
USADA has cracked down heavily on it, though, and caught a lot of those guys.
Yes, at the same time, same time, where their testing is always increasing and getting better, I think the people who are getting the steroids or making the steroids are always, making it like so much
but
better.
USADA's still catching the best guys in the business. They're
I
good.
don't
They
know.
caught Silva. They caught Jones. They caught Brock. They caught everybody.
No, I don't think they caught everybody.
Obviously not, but they caught most.
No,
of them.
but like I don't know.
They never caught GSP. I'm not saying that he did.
I don't know.
You know the crazy thing is
I
though,
don't like.
is performance enhancing drugs are they that bad? Yeah, I mean
Well,
like
Yeah, because
No,
you're getting the ability to inflict more damage onto a person.
yes, but when everyone is allowed to take them,
Then it's fair game.
Hold on.
right?
Okay,
It's fair game.
that's totally true. I think the problem comes with like what they start doing like outside the fucking outside
okay.
the octagon when
Yeah.
they like say like
so
somebody
you're just
starts
saying it's gonna
beating the
snowball
shit
from
out of
there,
someone
right?
from like
You're
five
talking about
people at
roid
a
rage
bar.
at this point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
like,
Nick Diaz had that.
anything. Yeah.
But with the
Nick Diaz
better
never tested
no.
positive. He's probably one of the people that does.
No, just for pop. I'm saying 5 people.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're talking about like you guys are talking about old school steroids where you get the roid rage. You're talking Chris
I don't know.
Benoit
New
murdering his
stuff
family.
is-
shit.
It's a lot like that too.
But I'm saying with the new shit, I don't think you get that kind
Depends
of.
on what you take.
You don't get that roid rage anymore.
Depends
It's
on what
so
you take.
advanced
If
now.
you take
like, it's-
Anavar, which isn't a really strong muscle gaining muscle,
Yeah.
but it is a good steroid, you don't get any of that kind of side effects, and it works.
Yeah,
But you always have to stack it with something. And
but that's what I'm saying. Like certain
testosterone.
shit, is it right for it to be illegal? You know, like it's
Fuck, I don't know, man.
because this is what the thing. You want to see human beings performing at their peak
I
physical
know, but you
abilities.
also don't want
Right.
to see you.
Right.
Hold on, you also don't want to see someone like get fucking like beaten to a fucking pulp to the point where like they fucking die the next day.
Yeah.
And then you find, oh, this guy actually tried to like do win the title cleanly.
the rest
And,
of the
like,
fucking
the other
grind,
guy-
yeah.
the other- like, come on, like fucking Vitor Belfort went on a fucking tear.
Yeah.
He went on where this guy was a sure bet, and like his fights after
Yep.
John Jones,
Yeah.
after that Jones fight, this guy went on a tear, and he was a sure bet in like every single fight,
And then now you can
and
tell.
he destroyed everyone.
And now you
Like,
see him.
fucking retarded, and he lost what like a fucking couple of weeks ago.
I saw him. He was fighting
I didn't watch
Jay
it.
Gardner Mousasi.
Yeah, I didn't
He
watch
beat the
it.
shit out of him.
Yeah.
Beat the shit out of Vitor Belfort. Beat the shit.
And then
Well,
the
Victor Belfort's climbing in age.
No,
too.
I never
He's
seen
not, like,
Jay
that-
Gardner Mousasi.
I don't know if you were to watch him like 2-3 years ago, you'd be like, "Whoa,
You would never tell, right?
this guy looks like he's in his
He's
prime.
immortal.
Yeah.
He looks like better than he did
When he
when
was young, he was a
19.
savage too. He killed a lot of fucking.
Isn't that
Not
crazy? How a
killed,
lot
but
of
he
those
shit
guys like just get better with age. though?
Yeah,
like,
but-
Hendo is one of them too.
Well,
man.
TRT.
It's like-
Let's not forget, he was still good, but TRT.
And that's the thing too.
TRT
Well,
Hendo's
the
dangerous.
doctor prescribed him TRT. Like the whole point of like when you become like an aged fighter, you know, and you're supposed
You
to
fight
kind of
smarter.
you're supposed to use your head
Right.
more than you're supposed to.
But he was still striking at that point, which is dangerous at that age. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, with guys like
Yeah.
Randy Couture, he was taking it more to the ground rather
Yeah.
than like going,
Yeah.
fisticuffs.
GSP did the same thing. though.
Hendo,
He went
Hendo near
opposite.
the end, 50 years old, he's still going with that striking game because he's never been
Yeah.
knocked out.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what it's
He's been
like,
hurt.
right?
He's
It's
been
like
hurt, though.
he's been hurt,
Yeah,
but
but look
not
at-
knocked out.
Look at GSP. He did the opposite. He started with wrestling and went to the stand-up.
So he's stand up now,
He always does stand-up now, but he does mostly
Yeah.
just with boxing.
No,
He doesn't
which
give
is
any-
weird with GSP.
He wins
though,
by
'cause-
points. He just wins
yeah.
by points.
He does. He's fight smart.
Yeah, exactly.
It's when fighters get injured, they learn to fight. It's less with aggression and more with just brain.
Yeah.
You're using intelligence rather than
You can tell when you're watching them too.
you learn how to work.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know. You could also tell when someone just like I don't know what it is. Like they go into a fight and you can just tell this person's just totally mentally fucked. They can't do
Yeah,
anything.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's what I thought when I watched the Miocic fucking Overeem fight.
Really?
Yeah, man. I was just like in any like common sense type thing, like you just have to know. Miocic should know this because I know this. If you headhunt, you're gonna probably knock Overeem out. Like all you have to do is headhunt the fucking guy, and then
Yeah.
you're probably gonna wind up winning.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was even able to call. Like he's not gonna be patient. He's not gonna try and drag this fight out. He's gonna try and end it as soon as he can. He actually did end up getting caught, which surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, but and in the way that Overeem's overcommitment to that actually is what kind of won him the fight.
No, Overeem kind of dealt with that like stupidly. He knocked the
Yeah.
guy down and hurt him, and then
went for guillotine.
he went for a guillotine instead of
Yeah.
like trying to follow up with a couple of
And then
punches.
I honestly think that fucked with his head a little bit too when he did that. He
Yeah.
shouldn't have done that. And then what was he saying? He thought that Miocic tapped.
Oh no!
Yeah,
fucking.
That's weird. And then he watched-
Overeem was clearly like
Yeah.
fucking knocked
You
right.
You know
the
what's
fuck out.
hilarious?
Like, he knocked into
Was
next
it?
year.
I don't know.
When
It
he's
was
just
just Joe
standing
Rogan
there,
played back the
I
footage.
felt bad
for it.
for
It
like
was like,
fucking Joe Rogan after.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh man. So like I could see myself.
That's
being
embarrassing, though,
Oh,
for
how about
Overeem.
we just watch another replay and see if you see where
he's
you
like,
tap.
really? Well, we could take a look at the footage right now. He's watching over and just like, yeah, you didn't tap. It's
Yeah,
just
I
like,
didn't see it there, man. Maybe a different angle. He's like, oh man, this guy probably felt so fucking awkward.
That was really
He's just
cringy.
like, I'm never
It's
fucking
like-
interviewing a
Yeah.
guy after
Yeah.
He's not. He's not interviewing people who've been knocked out anymore.
Yeah.
That's good for him though. I think.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird.
It
Yeah, I don't
seems
even
like,
know why they interview the guys who get knocked out. It's like,
I don't know. I just
They wanna-
to be more of a show, you
Yeah.
know.
They
like,
wanna-
it's
they
more
wanna
of
know
a
what
show.
your
he's
thoughts
not in the right state of mind at that point. He could be
No.
talking
You know,
in a
I
different
felt
language
the
at
tap.
that
I clearly felt
Clearly
it.
felt the
Fuck
tap, yeah.
You got knocked out.
You hate Overeem, eh?
No, not even. It's
I
just
like him.
like he ran. He ran in that fight, man.
I know.
That was weird seeing Overeem run.
Conor
He's a
McGregor
big fucking guy.
McGregor did to Nick too.
Yeah,
trying to win.
I'm
They
not
wanna
a
win.
fan of. I'm not that big a fan of Conor.
You don't like
McGregor.
Conor
I'm
McGregor?
not a big fan of like watching the UFC
In general, eh?
I've watched like hundreds of those fucking fights. And,
Yeah.
At this point, I'm just like.
I'm with you. I'm more of an old school UFC fan. Like I like the Pride
I like
days
Pride
and like
a
the
lot.
early UFC.
Pride, I
Not
don't
early
know,
UFC, but like the
They had a good like era and like
Yeah.
fucking probably
the
like
golden era. I would
6
say
years
would be
ago,
like
maybe.
2008,
No,
2009.
I think a little more than that.
Earlier, maybe 2007, 6. Yeah.
5 to 2000.
I would say
No,
06.
and
06
they-
was
and
when
I'm
Chuck
not-
Liddell was like reigning in that fucking middleweight
Yo,
division.
man,
Oh my
Machida
god,
light-
it was
light
awesome.
heavy-
Yeah.
Machida beat
Light heavyweight.
Rich Franklin before anyone, and nobody ever even talked about it when he was champ.
They're still like good fighters and shit now. Like really good fighters. They're even better, I would say now because.
Oh yeah, but it's
training techniques.
overcoached.
It's
You know what I mean?
It's
Like, there's-
overcoached. It's like
See, back then it would be like a lot of the fights were brawls. Now it's the first fighter to make a mistake, and that's who loses.
Yeah.
It's a chess
Yeah.
game, you know. Like,
yeah.
and then the purists like that; they enjoy it, but it's not entertaining for a lot of the people. If you want to get a bigger
I
audience,
enjoy
you know?
it.
I enjoy it too. I enjoy it somewhat, but
I
it's like.
enjoy very.
But when
few-
you're looking at fights and they're
fights.
all the same, like they all like
Yeah.
the same type of fight, it's
that's
boring.
why I like
It's
watching
boring,
people
right?
like Fabricio Werdum. Like he's fun to watch. Like
Yeah.
win or lose, this guy's
Yeah.
gonna like put on a good show.
And that's a lot of the reason why a lot of guys who used to like UFC are now going to the organizations like Strikeforce because you get those
Yeah.
amateurish
They get more money.
fights.
They get more
You
money.
get in those guys who
Look
are
at Michael Venom
headhunting and
Page.
shit,
I love
and it's
Michael
more
Venom Page,
entertaining,
yeah.
right?
I
Because
love-
they're
I
pushing
really
for
do like
the
those
flashy
types of-
knockout, and they're
Yeah.
it's not like
They're not pay-per-view either, right? They're just ratings.
yeah.
But they're owned by a company that has way more money than UFC.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what it's called.
Viacom.
Yeah, Viacom.
It's been a great night all
It's been a great
around.
run.
Wildman's been a great guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem.
Next time.
Definitely be more than one occasion we're gonna have you on.
I'm
It's fun.
all open to come back.
Lots of fun.
Well, the election's gonna come up. Maybe we can have you come on right after the election and talk about that, because that's gonna be funny.
That's gonna be a shit show, man.
That's gonna be
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's gonna be a shit show. Yeah, that's for sure.
What the fuck's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, it's been fun.
Great show.
We like you all to have a very good night and try not to do anything.
Don't
crazy.
forget to like, subscribe, all that
Subscribe.
jazz. Yeah.
Subscribe. No, I mean,
fucking
you
subscribe.
don't have to try that much, but like, if you're nice, thanks. That'd be great. I really appreciate it. Anyway, have a good night
Have a good night.
and good night,
Over
and we're gonna go and